Hey, so Stuntman's running a bit late, so I figure I would go live and say hi to the chat and wait a few minutes. I do know he's on the way, so this way I would just say hi to people while we start off, whether it be Predminator, Dark Metal Spider, Hey Those Silver Wings, Alex, Hoopa, and etc. Hope everyone's doing okay. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I know that's tomorrow, but I won't be on tomorrow, so there you go. No, no problem, Preminator. I mean, if you want to request it, feel free to continue. I don't mind watching this anytime, any day. So it is a personal favorite of mine. So again, you sent in the request. Hey, Kentucky Tentator, happy Thanksgiving to you. Hope everyone enjoys the Thanksgiving tomorrow. Hey there, Jeremy. The stuntman Mark, he's running a bit late. He was a bit busy working, but I know he's hyped about this, so he'll be in a few minutes. Yeah, I looked at Invasion USA. I do have the Blu-ray. I did not know that was out of print. Hey there, Jonathan Warden. Hey there, Togera. Happy Thanksgiving. But yeah, I didn't know Invasion USA Blu-ray was out of print. That's crazy. That didn't come out that long. Well, I guess it did. About 7 years ago, that Blu-ray came out. And yeah, I guess 7 years that Blu-ray came out, it's already out of print. That's crazy. Makai, I'm doing okay. Thank you, Jonathan. I'm doing okay. I don't really care about Stream 7, so no, I don't pay attention to the news on Stream 7. I don't really care. I don't care at all. So no, I didn't hear and don't really give a shit. Alex, because Stallone is one of my favorites. I grew with the film more. Thank you, Premiere. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Let's say we'll wait a couple minutes. Again, Stuntman March running a little bit late, but I do know he'll be on in a bit. Yeah, I just got a message. I'll be there in a couple minutes, so at least we'll say hi for people that come in. Happy Thanksgiving to people and stuff. I just, random questions people want to ask before we get into the commentary, feel free. Because during the commentary, we'll try to talk about the film itself. Makai, you already know the answer to that question. One film I enjoy, one film I hated. So you already know the answer to that question. Okay, Alex, I don't get what your point is. So they both have a killer. Well, Cobra has a army of killers who Stallone uses the Jatomatic machine gun and laser sighting and grenades to fuck up and kill. The Jatomatic machine gun. I believe it's called the Jatomatic. Jetomatic with laser sighting. Yeah, Cobra is a Christmas movie because in the very opening in the department store there are Christmas decorations, and also when Stallone's character is cutting up the pizza with scissors, there's a Toy R Us Christmas commercial playing. So I don't know, it takes place in LA or whatever, but it's supposed to be Christmas time. But I don't really think, I mean, I get technically it takes place on Christmas, but I just never think of it as a quote Christmas movie. So I don't know. That's a whole other conversation because you got Die Hard and all that stuff. But hey there, JoJo, Samuel, Neil, Punk, Ari James. Hello there all. Yeah, Invasion USA does. Yep. You tell Rostov it's time to die. There you go. But yeah, this has a good cast again, which is funny how so many critics shit on it, but yet they want to quote all these diatribes about diversity. Hey, Carded Engine, how you doing, man? It was nice to talk to you the other day on the Batman. Was that the first time we were on a stream together? on Dead Pitt's Adam the Batman, the 1966 film. How you doing, man? Hey, Caleb. Yeah, just waiting for Stemman Mark. He's a bit late. He'll be here in a few minutes. He just messaged me and said he'll be here in a few minutes. So just talking to people in the chat before we do that. But happy Thanksgiving to all. Yeah, but it's funny how so many critics took a shit on this film, but yet they promote diversity all the damn time. I'm like, this has Danny Glover, Ruben Blades, Maria Conchita Alonso. But oh hey Jay, how you doing? Jay the Stingray, how's it going, man? It has been a while. I talked to we were on streams together with others during the uh, Sausage Factory days. And Fabio, damn, we got everybody here. We got Fabio, we got Jay the Stingray, we got Tara Detention. Hi there, Caleb. God damn, man. Um, I hate bothering people, so that's why this was a last minute request. Otherwise, it'd be like, hey, but, people are working. It's the night before Thanksgiving. I'm surprised Stum and Mark was going to be able to come on. Otherwise, I'm like, hey, Jay, Fabio, hurry to everybody, come on, let's watch Predator 2, goddamn it, together. We'll get everybody. We'll get the whole fucking stream on here. Watch Predator 2. But yeah, how's everyone going? How's everybody doing? How is your night going? Hey James, I'm doing okay. How are you doing? Hero of the Terror isn't about a slasher though, it's about a strangler. So it's a different vibe. Wow, your birthday's on Thanksgiving? That's interesting, Caleb. Happy birthday and Thanksgiving then. Hey there, Rat Hammer. Hope you're doing well. Um, nah, I didn't see Thanksgiving, although seems everybody likes it so far. Even the guys at Dead Pit liked it. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Dark Metal Spider. Very cool. 52. I didn't think you were that old. Interesting. For some reason, I thought you were younger than me. But yeah, how's everyone doing? You do feel free to pipe in, talk, ask whatever. Jay the Steamway Card Dimension, Fabio. Hope you guys are doing well. James, happy Thanksgiving. Almost said happy birthday. I don't have the 4K of the film. I just have the Blu-ray. I'm not really a big 4K guy. I don't go out of my way to get every film on 4K. I just don't. I don't. A lot of times I'm like the Blu-ray is fine. I'm fine with the Blu-ray. Uh, Disney's Wish. I don't know what that is. Buster Rhymes and Halloween Ends. It would be better than Corey. Fuck Corey. Gives a shit about Corey. Oh, no problem, Darmel Spider. You welcome. Um, I'm looking. Um, I got Predator 1 on 4K. No, the only. Sorry, I'm checking, double checking. I just got the Blu-ray out. Oh yeah, you're right. I got the Predator 2 4K right there. You're right. I don't even remember what the fuck I got. I just put the Blu-ray in because it makes it easier. I may mess around with the 4K, but I just got the Blu-ray. What fuck? Are you ready to?
Ready.
What's the line?
yeah,
We're
let's.
gonna cut off our discs and shove it up our asses. As Danny Glover would say. You turn off my dick, you shove it up my ass.
Oh man, I love this movie.
How are you doing tonight?
Good. It was a long work day, but I made it in time for this. Thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it. You know how much I dig this movie, so I can't wait to watch it.
No, thank you. I know it's a pretty late notice, but I got the request pretty late thanks to Predminator, who's in the chat,
Cool.
and Fader been wanting to do something with Stum and Mark for a while. Just been busy. It's the whole holiday season getting there, so just hectic. But at least for something like this, and not face off.
That one's coming. You're saying that now, but it's coming. I know you're
Yeah,
excited.
nice background we got there.
Thanks. How's everybody in the chat doing? Hope you guys are doing good.
So before we start, let me ask you, how did you see this film first? Your first thoughts, your first memories of this film in particular?
It was either 90s cable or VHS. I'd have to say I warped my VHS tape. This Aliens, T2, all that good stuff. Like those tapes probably don't even work anymore, and I don't think I want to try them because I like to have them, but like I know they're probably gonna get screwed up if I put them in. And they're gonna be so warped anyway. Like I said, I'd rather not ruin it.
And your first impression of the film when
Loved
you
it.
first saw it?
Loved it. I've seen people go back and forth with this film between like hating it and loving it, of course, but the sole opinion is obviously that the first film is the better film, which I would agree with in some aspects. But this movie has so many cool like action set pieces from the beginning, which is super over the top, but fun. You have the Jamaican like gang shootout in like the high rise or whatever, or the apartment. The train massacre sequence is epic. The meat packing plant or the slaughterhouse sequence, fucking cool. You go from that to like if the predator gets his arm cut off, he falls off a building, he falls through another building, goes down an elevator shaft, and then you have the whole fight sequence at the end. I mean, there's so many cool like moving parts to this. I never understood how people couldn't like it. It's just got so many cool things in it. Like as far as it like being a sequel to the first movie, maybe it's not a good sequel in that aspect because it doesn't follow anything from the first film. But I still think it's a fun entry in the franchise. If you're looking at it that way, yeah, you can't really beat Arnold as the action star. I get that. But like, man, Danny Glover, he was like only what 1 year removed from the last Lethal Weapon movie, and I think it was '89. This was 1990.
I think.
And go ahead.
I think this is the best way to do a sequel because if you put another action guy, it would just be another Arnold ripoff. It became its own film.
Mm-hmm.
And then because it's not connected to the original, then it's not screwing anything up. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch this on its own, and it stands on its own two legs. It stands on
Yes.
its own movie,
Yes,
which is very strong for this film. And actually, as the years have come and go, this has become my favorite Predator film. I love the first one,
mm-hmm.
but this is the one I watch more. Now, both of these are like in my top 15 favorite films of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like Predator 1 and 2, I love to death. And I don't have issues with either one. This one, I think it's become more my favorite because of the pacing, because there's a bit, as I love Arnold and Predator, but Danny's able to showcase more personality with his dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
and the interactions with the people. And the slow burn works well for Predator, as it should.
Mhm.
But in rewatching it, the pacing of this is just such a roller coaster. It's just insane.
I agree.
And before we go on, let me go through the chat real quick. Hey there, Fabio. Hope you're doing well. Wishing people happy Thanksgiving. A lot of people saying hi to you. Whether it be, let me see, Leo Punch says hi.
What's up, man?
Let me go back real quick. Horrid films. I saw Thanksgiving, was disappointed by it. Well, everybody likes it, including Dead Pit, so haven't seen the film. So
I saw it like the early screening, where I guess like Thursday night, and I thought it was fine. I mean,
cool.
I think people like have built that movie up so much in their head since like 2007 when they first saw that faux trailer, and there's almost no way to make anybody happy. Like, you know what I mean? Like Roth said that like they tried to piece a movie together around the trailer that they shot, but it's like it didn't make any sense. So they started over from scratch and just crafted a story around the theme of Thanksgiving using all the stuff that they had been dreaming about doing since they were kids. And that's pretty much what you got. I think it's fine. But yeah, if people don't like it, to each his own.
Well, I am, all I've seen other was pen positive, so that probably means I'll hate it. But two different Calebs say hi. One with a C, one with a K. They both say hi to you.
What's up?
Anthony, hey there from Let's Talk Resident Evil. Hey, Anthony, hope you're doing well, man.
What's up, dude?
How's it going, man? Anthony, if you're still in there, we still need to do a stream where I'm asking you about, he's got a fan film coming up, Resident Evil fan film that he worked on, called the Red Shoe Diaries. No, it's not the Red Shoe Diaries. It's a Red Shoe Diaries of Resident Evil. They're getting David Duchovny to come in with more weed on his face to talk about how Jill had sex with a zombie.
He gonna be Chris Redfield.
And Anthony will be Chris Redfield. He's playing Chris Redfield. Actually, he's having sex with Jill, and he funded the whole thing. It was his way to get some Jill Poontang pie, because I know he's a big fan of Jill. So, what way to live through it than the Resident Red Shoe Diaries? Coming soon to YouTube. No, it's the Keeper's Diary fan film.
Okay.
Resident Evil fan film, which is very cool. So let me know anything. We can. I don't have much. I'm not popular at all, but I don't know. It'd be like just to chat with you about Resident Evil stuff. Alex says hi to Mark. Race on Fiction says, I rented Predator 2 on VHS. Recall seeing it on the shelf at the rental store. My eyes blew out of my head realizing there was a sequel to Predator. There you go. Yeah, it didn't get much advertisement, it seems. So a lot of people found it on VHS or cable. Fabio mentions AMC Monster Fest 2002. Guessing maybe that's the first time he saw it. This movie's almost sweatier than the first one, and it took place in the jungle. They do mention that it's the hottest weather on record in Los Angeles, 1997, the future. The future of 1997.
I do like how all the actors like seem like they're really living in like this crazy heat wave. Everybody's so sweaty and they all look uncomfortable. It's kind of cool.
All right. Again, just want to catch up. Hey there, Ryan. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I'm doing my best to go through the chat. Hey there, Greg. I'm doing well. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, for tomorrow. The city said it was a good choice. Yes, just it didn't seem like just a replicate of the first one. Mm-hmm. God forbid a sequel be a bit different. Are there Jamaican voodoo deans in LA? Well, either Steven Seagal kills them or the Predator kills them. So, which, Steven Seagal was going to be in this, but thankfully Stephen Hopkins had common sense and said, nope. Because Fox wanted Steven Seagal as the lead. Because it was going to be Patrick Swayze, but he got hurt filming Roadhouse, I believe.
Mm.
So then Fox wanted Seagal because some of his films, like Above the Law, have been hit, box office hit. And Stephen Hopkins realized how fucking crazy he was. And so they got Danny Glover, which was a good choice.
Definitely a good choice.
Yeah, Arnold, they offered like the Gary Busey type of role, which I would not have wanted him to be a bad guy.
No.
And even then, it's like, okay, 1990, I'm fine with him doing Total Recall, and then we got this. So we got two damn good movies. And I don't know, I mean, I'm fine with Arnold not being the sequel because it was a good sequel, and you know, the first film's great. So I mean, it's I don't know, didn't bother me as much as other people. Let's see. I think Predator 2 opened at number 4 in opening weekend behind Home Alone, Dances with Wolves, and 3 Men and a Little Lady. The Fat didn't do better than 3 Men and a Little Lady is fucking.
Hey, it's fucking Tom Selleck, man. You can't fucking beat that guy.
Can't beat the mustache.
No.
Hey, First Power 100. Hope you're doing well. I love almost everything about Predator 2. The only thing I don't like is how the film set up the later Alien vs. Predator films. Well, I mean, that's not its fault. They should have made good movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, comic books, you could read the comic books, and at least you get some enjoyment out of that. But blame Paul Wildstein Anderson for that shit.
Well, I mean, it's a nice nod. Like, if these are supposed to be like planetary conquering beings, then why not have a little teaser in there? I always thought it was cool.
And Drake, I don't give a flying fuck about Stream 7 and which characters are returning, not returning, because this person got fired because of their political beliefs. How about the entire franchise be fired? I don't give a fuck.
Well, it sort of is now.
Stream 7.
Like, they're screwed.
Good.
They have no leads.
Good. Maybe should have killed out David Arquette. He could have been the lead.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't pay Nev Campbell, which you shouldn't be doing those anyway. Do some other stuff. Then you kill off David Arquette, where you get Courtney Botox Cox. She looks like she got Botox in the last Stream film.
It's possible.
Did she or did she not?
There was something going on. I thought like Botox was supposed to like make you look, really good, but I don't think that worked.
Have you overdo it?
Yeah. She OD'd on Botox.
Facial implants, well, she needs a refund. Otherwise, maybe, or get Bruce Campbell from Steve from LA and fucking fix them. Start looking. And I don't know. Anyway, let's get in. We're about 10 minutes in. Caught up a little bit with the chat. Pause the beginning. I'll count down. 3, 2, 1. Press play. Then you press play.
Okay. Let me make sure I'm queued up correctly.
No problem.
So I'm going to do it off of a stream. It usually works better.
Cool. Caleb, I don't really care about WWE nowadays. I don't watch wrestling. I don't. And back then, I mean, I don't know. I'm more into wrestlers and not eras, to be honest. Like certain matches, maybe, but not really eras. Chop your pee-pee and all that fucking stupid shit.
Good times.
Which that was stupid back in the day to me. I mean, I don't know. If you rewatch that Attitude Era stuff, it's really rough unless it's like Steve Austin or The Rock or Mick Foley talking or doing stuff. But the other stuff, like Boss Man being Hun or fucking eating his own dog, or him feeding someone else their dog, or
Hmm.
whatever the fuck.
I'm more so shocked by the stuff that they were able to get away with. Like going back and watching
Yeah,
it because I watched all of it again. Um, and man, it's the way the
yeah.
like storylines were interwoven was really cool. I like that everybody did have a storyline. And there were definitely bad ones, but it's still the sense of like wonder and like who's going to jump from what company, and it's just a different era of wrestler. Um, the breed of wrestler back then was so that old school feel was still there. The
Mhm.
territory type of vibe that they gave off. It was still a fun time. I think it's still a fun watch. I mean, I'd rather watch that over a lot of the current stuff.
Well, sure, I'll give you that. It's tough. My favorite action scene was probably the finale, right when I would say after Danny Glover sees the Predator in the subway. The whole last chunk of the movie is just relentlessly paced film. So no, we haven't started watching. We're just setting stuff up, but we will in a minute. Mark's just getting his stream ready
I'm ready.
for to watch it. Cool. So I'll count down
Hmm.
on three, two, one, pressing play. We have the Fox logo for syncing. Oh, I'm sorry, 20th Century Studios or whatever the hell it's called now since Disney bought them.
Yeah. Um, Although, like,
And then
shitstorm, like they
the what?
just. I said Fox went through such a shitstorm anyway. Like towards the end, they were making nothing but mistakes with a lot of their best franchises.
Oh yeah, like the Predator with Dick Pitt's best friend Boyd Holbrook.
Uh, yeah. I mean, we already know the fiasco of X Files, and I mean
The revival, yeah.
the X Men franchise. What about the last Die Hard movie they did? Come on,
Oh yeah, Good Day to Suck Hard, yeah.
yeah,
So right, I mean, right out of the gate, you got the Predator vision. You're already noticing the chaos. You're already noticing, if it's drawing the heat and conflict. This is the hottest part of the year. That's why everybody's sweating. It's a good detail.
hmm
They make it apparent, and then all this conflict. So nowadays, it's be Detroit or something.
right.
And it made sense not to do another slow build up mystery. We know
Hmm.
what the Predator is, so get right in on the action.
Yeah, I mean
This
your
could be
first,
in the world of a RoboCop. When you think of it,
right?
like this could be the era of RoboCop, the world of that.
Hmm. Your first actual shot is an explosion. Like
Yeah,
you forget about the Predator vision for a second. Your first shot is an explosion. Can't think of a better way to start an action movie. Or I guess this has a sci-fi element as well, so it's not pure
yeah,
action, but and it does have some slasher elements too.
oh yeah. And this one guy coming up like, "You fucking banderas!"
Yeah,
It took my this guy coming up. He just complained. This guy here,
yeah.
shut the pieces. You fucking banderas.
And he ducks for his life. That's beautiful.
Yeah, nice bit of slow mo from Stephen
Mhm.
Hopkins, who by this point had done Elm Street 5, which I was not a fan of. But he made up for it in this.
That he
And
did.
then you had Judgment Night, which is a good one. he
I
did
love
after
Judgment
this
Night.
with Emilio Estevez.
Hmm.
That's a good one, Judgment Night. For those who haven't seen it, Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr. You got Dennis Leary as the villain,
Hmm.
and of course, Gordon Downey Jr. here as a reporter. I think he was a real life, was a talk show. Can't remember.
Yeah, it was a talk show. Yeah.
Okay, never did see his talk show.
I saw like 1 or 2 episodes on YouTube.
Okay. So Premier is saying the Teen Willie Alley scene was the same scene from Terminator 1. Which scene in Terminator 1? Predminator. Here's Dan the Man, this guy right here. He's right here watching over us.
I love the lasers on the guns. They're so cool.
Yeah.
And then your SWAT commander, if you notice him, he's from Lethal Weapon as well.
Yep.
It's a bit of a retaming right there.
Yeah, that guy did a lot of Richard Donner stuff because I think he was one of the cops who finds the guy run over in the subway in Superman.
Hmm.
When the guy's following Ned Beatty, I think he's one of the cops that finds the hat or whatever. And yeah, he was the chief in Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yep.
Danny Glover has a Desert Eagle. All right. Cool. And he's all stocked up like
That's right.
should be.
He pulls one of the biggest guns out, too small.
And the Lethal Weapon chief had the Spas 15. Oh, where Michael Biehn arrives is the same alleyway. Okay, so where Michael Biehn arrives in Terminator 1 is the same alley as the Teen Willie scene.
That is
This
cool.
is such a cool stunt. I mean, that's Danny Glover. Maybe they
Mhm.
had like another guy on the other side of the drive, but it's really Danny on the side of the road, roving the camera.
Hmm.
And that's what I also loved about the Predator here is that unlike the first one, he has like a personal. He fucks with Danny Glover psychologically. Like he leaves the pendant in the cemetery. He's always
Hmm.
watching the guy. I did just purposely fucked with him, picking up, like following him around. He follows in the Teen Willie, follows it. So I kind of like that sort of little, almost like personal thing. That
Yeah.
was a nice choice. Makes it feel a bit different. And you need your cocaine.
No time to cut a line. Just grab a handful. It's
I was
also
saying this before. Yeah, go ahead.
it's interesting
Go
that
ahead.
like from the opening, these characters, well, Danny Glover and his team, like they just happen upon like this massacre of gang members. So to them, it's just a
Yeah,
bizarre into a crazy shootout, and it's almost just
yeah,
another case, but just a little bit more bizarre. But like as you were talking about him, the predator leaving the necklace, like there's a certain point where Danny says like this guy um, killed my friend and he's gonna fall. So it becomes sort of like a revenge mission, like halfway through the movie. Um,
mhm.
and he just wants vengeance, but it doesn't consume his character. Like he just still wants to
Right.
figure it out as well. And it's a good drive and motivation for him to not let it go. Because I think he's told to like drop all this and do something else, but like he just keeps going. He's man on a mission, and it's very much an adventure that he goes on. And I think anytime you have that in a movie, like with this many cool like action set pieces, and it's just like an adventure that you want to rewatch over and over. You want to go on the ride with him again. So
Yeah.
I love that aspect of it.
And you know, people always make fun of Danny Glover. No, I mean he handled that shotgun well. Hey, asshole!
Yeah.
That's a great way to showcase your hero. And I never understood that. Like he did Lethal Weapon films and other stuff, but yet, oh, he wasn't Arnold. Okay, and yeah, I was talking about this before. It's funny how critics hated this film, but they always talk about diversity nowadays. Is a movie diverse? I look at this: Danny Glover as the lead, Ruben Blaze, Rikichi Alonso, as well as Bill Paxton,
Yeah.
and they just did that because of where it took place, and it was just they just care about the movie. It wasn't an agenda. It wasn't we got this check mark. I was want to be an asshole and say if you hate Predator 2, you're racist. Stole their fucking ammunition back in them. It's like if you don't like this film, you're racist. How about this? If you don't like Predator 2, maybe you're fucking racist. But I know I can't do it. But I just to fuck with them. But
Yeah.
so far, it's just been like action and carnage. I love it. R
Mhm.
rated. They did get an NC-17. It got cut back. I don't think we'll ever see that cut. I know the editor Mark Goldblatt talked about that. Who edited Mark Goldblatt? He edited, you know, stuff with James Cameron. He edited Rambo First Blood 2. He directed The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren and Dead Heat with Tree Williams.
Mhm.
I think he mentioned that James Cameron saw this film and liked it. I think what helped him get the job of Terminator 2 editing. I think he helped it. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but yeah, Premiere. I just mentioned that. Yeah, you climb down or fly, your choice. There you
He's
go. Make your
shooting on the
choice.
way down.
Good stunt too. Obviously, would have been into one of those airbags, but still
Mhm.
dangerous to do and nicely done.
Very. Yeah.
And this is the first step of his fear of heights, which will be showcased later. So they show something that will be followed through later on.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think.
I can't see Stanford. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I said, yeah, I was looking at someone in the chat. No, I can't see Steven Seagal being in this film. I don't think it would have
Oh
worked.
God.
I
No.
just, I like early Steven Seagal films. I just don't see him working in this type of
Yeah.
movie.
Same.
So, but what were you going to say?
Oh. So it was an interview that Hopkins did, and I remember him saying that he wanted this film to be extremely over the top, and it is. And he went all out. He put everything he could into it in terms of violence, making it as bloody as possible, and he just wanted to make as much noise as possible with the film. And he definitely achieved that, and then some. I would love to see that NC-17 cut. Um, and you know they've got it. Like it's there. It's in the vault.
Do
Like,
you think
but
got it? Do you think
I
Fox
would.
would have kept that?
Yeah, I do. There was so much footage from like the film Aliens, for example, or just looking at that franchise. I mean, there's a lot of alternate stuff for Alien 3, and almost nobody likes that film, but they kept it. So around that time, late 80s, early mid 90s, it seemed like they did keep their stuff. Um,
Hmm.
maybe somebody should ask Hopkins about it. I'd love to see what he has to say. He said he had a
Hmm.
blast though. Like he was really young. I think he was 29 at the time when he made this, and he had a lot more money than Nightmare. And he's like, I wanted to blow up everything. Like I got to blow shit up with a lot of money in Hollywood. So I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to fuck up LA as much as possible.
And yeah, this era of these type of movies, maybe I'm just a sucker for them because in this the same year, for example, you had I Come in Peace with Dolph Lundgren,
Hmm.
which is similar to this, where cops versus an alien from outer space,
Yeah.
wall to wall action. I guess that's just my type of thing where I love action movies. I love creature feature, the blending of the two. It's always a fun time for me.
Yeah, I remember Siskel and Ebert saying that they hated the film, but I'm like,
Well, to be fair, they didn't even give Aliens two thumbs up or Die Hard two thumbs up, but they gave Speed two thumbs up. So put it that way. Hey, if you
yeah,
watch the Siskel and Ebert review of Die Hard, it's just Roger
mhm,
Ebert complaining about the cops that are being goofs, like
mhm,
the guy who's the principal in Breakfast Club, Paul Gleason, that cop who is by Reginald Johnson. That was like
yeah,
all that Roger Ebert was complaining about, but then it's a thumbs down. But
wow,
Speed 2 is two thumbs up. So,
it's William Defoe, man, can't beat him.
sure. Thank you, Joe. No, I have not seen the film. No, I do not want a request. Is the movie's 3.5 hours long, and I'm sorry, I don't want to have a colonoscopy bag to watch a movie. Uh, so I appreciate the. Though I did not see the film, but 3.5 hours long. Come on.
It's a good movie, but I'll never watch it again. It's great,
Yeah.
well made, great film, great performances. I'll never watch it again though. Robert Davi,
Ah,
awesome.
yes, of course, Robert.
I wish he had more scenes in this.
Oh yeah, but I guess it'd be hard to know how to fit him in with everything else going on. But I agree, he's just a good actor, and
Mhm.
I liked him in Maniac Cop 2, even Maniac Cop 3. Trying to
Yeah,
think of other movies he's been in.
well, Die Hard, you mentioned that.
Of course, yeah, of course, Die Hard. Agent Johnson,
Mhm.
no relation. And of course, Gary Busey, the guy who now likes to feel up people at conventions.
He was a badass though in his time. I mean,
Yeah,
I liked him in so many things around this time, especially Lethal Weapon. He's another guy from
yeah.
Lethal Weapon. Um, he
Mm-hmm.
really had something special. I thought, like, he brings a great quality to that character that I think he probably was only able to bring. I can't really see too many other people pulling that out. Not to put over the performance too much, but seeing it, like, I love the way he portrays that character. Um,
I, I
he's just
agree.
got a certain set of like balls that like most people didn't have around that time. Um, and then his character has a son in The Predator and is completely wasted with Jake Busey, which I thought was genius
Yeah.
casting. And I saw that and I'm like, oh my God, like this is going to be cool. And then I saw the movie and I'm like, okay, you just fucked that up. That could have been one of the best parts of the movie, but it wasn't.
You see this guy here with the sunglasses that they're carrying? There's like he's got like a yellow coat.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like a mohawk. Does he look like someone that'd be in that video game Final Fight?
Yeah,
He
definitely.
does. He looks exactly like someone you'd be fighting that Final Fight beat him up game. I always thought that. Like, of course, the Paps, Bill Paxton, rest in peace, as Jerry
Yeah.
Dandridge, the Lone Ranger. Luck is my specialty. What are your thoughts on Bill Paxton in this?
Oh, I mean, entertaining as always. These movies and pretty much anything I've seen him in, for the most part, he's always entertaining. Um, scene stealer for sure. Um, his sequence on the whole train thing is one of my favorites. Um,
Here you
especially
go.
just
That line of dialogue. That means you. That means you cut on my dick. You stick it up my ass. But sorry, go ahead. I just I love that line.
No, just Paxton on the train is just fantastic. Like the whole thing where he's like, I think he's like reloading and like the predator's walking toward him and he's like, yeah, yeah. But he keeps unloading the gun like as he's getting closer and closer to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just love that little bit right there. One of my favorite parts.
Here's again, as much as I like Dutch and Predators, it's just for me a bit more to Danny Glover in this in terms of a role,
Hmm.
like interactions and what he's able to. What Arnold did was great in Predator, but just for me, there's more to Danny Glover's character in this.
Yeah.
Just the way he's able to have the opportunity to behave because of the environment and such.
Hmm.
Obviously, in Predator, you're not supposed to be taught a lot, so you don't get shot in the jungle. There's not no room for it. It works for that film, and this works for this.
And it's more of a uneven match as well.
Oh yeah,
I mean, Arnold was pretty much in his prime at that time, and he's fucking huge, and he's damn near the same
yeah.
height as the Predator. Like, so it's like, nah, okay, even match. But with this, you're like, well, how the hell is he gonna kill the Predator?
Have a lot more guns at your disposal. Some shotguns. Use the Predator's
That's right.
toys against it. And yeah, I agree with the Samuel. Yeah, I love the part where Maria grabs Bill by the balls coming up here.
Yeah.
You tried this shit on me, you tease this to buy. He said something like that. Here it is coming up. Try that cowboy shit with me, fucker. You tease these goodbye. Who says there aren't strong women in movies back then? For crying out loud.
That's right.
I didn't think about all the stuff people complain about nowadays. Films are not diverse. You don't have strong women, and yet this is still such an awful movie. Go fucking figure.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Joe. You weren't here when we talked about, but number one, I'm sure Arnold probably want a little bit more money. Also, he probably like I'd rather do Total Recall, which makes sense. And then there was talk of wanting to do the Gary Busey role, and I would not wanted him as the bad guy. So, and Arnold never liked the city idea. He has said all the time the city idea was
Hmm.
stupid.
I
He didn't
remember
like
him
that
saying
idea,
that.
and I think that's one of the main reasons he always thought the city idea was stupid. Which I don't understand because what do the jungle again like they've done in every other fucking sequel?
Right.
Because every other sequel is like Predators, Adrian Brody in the jungle, or an alien jungle, I guess, with Long Tall Sally at the end credits. I just tell you the Predator's not in the jungle, to be fair. It's just in the doghouse or where the fuck that movie is.
Yeah. I think in Requiem they go back and forth between the jungle and the city. Although I know some people don't count that one, but I still consider it canon.
No, it wasn't a jungle. It was a small town and the
But it was like
forest
a yeah forest setting. That's what I meant more so.
and the small podunk town where the popping xenomorph babies and the pregnant women. I kind of I could kind of watch that as like a B movie trash. Well, the
It's
parts
fun
I could see that
garbage,
aren't so fucking dark.
right? Yeah, it's. I watched it again recently, but I think the second one is actually some fun garbage. It's got some cool scenes in it.
Yeah, Yeah, that one I could watch as you fun garbage is a good way to put it. Fun garbage. Like I know, just give me some lights. Just put
Yeah.
some lights up. That's the one question I love to ask those guys. Why did you have not have any lights?
They couldn't afford them, I guess. They ran out of money.
That here were the Jamaican voodoo magic
Voodoo
man.
posse.
So instead of either they face off with Steven Seagal or they face off here. So I guess either way they're screwed.
I have to take your soul.
They don't really have like Jamaican gangs anymore in movies and stuff.
Oh.
Really? I wonder if, I know seriously, you wonder if that's because they view that as racist, even though there are Jamaican gangs, just like there are Italian gangs, there's Asian gangs, there's all sorts of gangs.
It's a interesting choice to go that way because like this is 90s LA. Shouldn't this like be the Crips and the Bloods or some shit like that? Like that might be just as entertaining. I don't know.
Here we're getting to see more of the Predator toys, which is a nice addition to see all this new gadgets and stuff.
Hmm.
We have the neck gun. We have, oh, here we go. They go right into the skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It is the future in '97. It was in '99, Crips and Blood. So maybe in '97, the Jamaican gangs got bigger. So that's true.
That's true.
At
I
least it
didn't
did
think about
say that's true. Ah, the Mini 14. Okay, that's one of the guns. Shit happens.
that. Silver Wings, do you have a channel? If you do, I'd like to
Yeah, he
see
does.
some
He
of your
does video
guns.
game stuff.
Oh, show off some guns, man. Like that's what
He
I want to
does.
see. Oh, does he? Cool.
He
That
does.
is awesome. I'm gonna check
Oh
his
yeah,
stuff out.
he has a good gun collection as well on his channel. He mostly does video game playthroughs. He's really good at them. I definitely recommend them. But he does on his videos. He does show guns as well.
Cool.
And yeah, if you ever see him on a stream, he can show guns as well during it.
Cool.
But yeah, he has a pretty good collection. I think he recently was the not recently, but the James Bond Walter PK. He
Hmm.
got that one, and I know there's another one he's trying to get. I forget what it, or maybe that's one he's trying to get. I forget. I will do videos on them soon. Cool. Got a few new guns in. Very cool. Yeah,
Cool, man.
he definitely knows his stuff on that. Do you think this era of these type of films will probably never come back, at least theatrical? Because even like, sadly, this film would probably be streaming, go to streaming, and I mean,
No. Um, it just this has a quality of like it's more of a product of its time.
yeah,
That sort of quality that we like. Um, a lot of these movies around this time just felt like bigger budget canon movies in a way, where it was like no holds barred on the violence, the action,
yeah,
um, and while this one was trimmed a lot, and somebody even mentioned why was the death screen off scene? Like it probably was a bit too much here and there. I just wish that whole MPAA thing never really got kicked off the way that it did. I understand the reason that they exist and all that, but man, there's so much cool stuff we didn't get to see. Um, I've always hated that though. Like they get to play God over somebody else's work, and it's like you're not there in the trenches with them shooting and making this thing happen. You've invested no money in this, and you get to come in and say, "Hey, you have to take that out of your film. That's not allowed." And it's it's going to be adults, like at least rated for adults. Like say, "Hey, this is an adult film." But the no
Well,
NC-17 thing in theaters and all that stuff, it just I've always hated that. I can't stand censorship.
but that's the weird thing is that after the '90s, you didn't really hear much about the MPA anymore. Maybe a bit in the early 2000s, but like after like think of like the last even 20 years, very rarely do you hear about the MPA did this, did that. At least as far as I know, maybe there's that one with Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like okay, the past 10 years, do you really hear about the MPA anymore?
Mm,
Like back then, at least.
no, not like
Like
back
back
then.
then,
No, definitely not.
yeah. So something definitely changed.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, this era, not just slasher films like the later Friday 13s, but action films like Cliffhanger had an NC-17 cut, and that had to be cut down. This had NC-17 cut, had to be cut down. Hard Target, which nothing about that was NC-17. It would have been an easy R today,
Hmm.
and it had to be cut. It was stupid. Um, yeah, never really go figure.
Hmm. And it was always the violence the majority of the time. I highly doubt it that it was nudity or anything like that or
Except
overly
maybe
explicit.
Showgirls.
Well, yeah, that's probably one of the better examples, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, all these films, like, what's so bad about people getting shot in a movie? It's it's stylized violence. I think people can realize that, and if you're an adult, you should be able to watch what you want.
Yeah, and the Mad Down I was talking about, Joe, was I think it's called The House That Jet Built,
Yeah,
which is a
that
I thought it
Lars
was
von Trier.
interesting. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, interesting, although too long.
Well, I mean, I think all his movies are like that.
Thank
Going
you,
on.
Joe. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen that Arnold film. It's okay. It's not one of his best. It's the one with the clones, and you had Tony Goldwyn from Ghost in it. You had Michael Rappaport in it. It's okay. It's rated PG-13. I think it seemed neutered, and it wasn't up to Terminator or Total Recall or Predator in terms of sci-fi Arnold, but it was okay. I'd rather watch that than a lot of stuff today, so I could watch it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Arnold film, but it's okay. I don't know if you've seen that film, The Sixth Day with Arnold.
Hmm. I saw it a lot later, like probably when it was out, like on DVD sometime in the mid 2000s. I definitely didn't see it right away, but I was pleasantly surprised at how entertaining it was.
And someone was asking what was your favorite Predator gadget. I think movie guy, like the in this one. I would say the disc, probably the disc and how sharp and how it's like a
Hmm.
boomerang. It comes back. I would say that one. So I don't know what your favorite like new Predator gadget in this would be or weapon.
Probably that one.
Hey there, Sacred Hobo. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody else in the chat. Well, Samuel, there's really no graphic violence in Ransom, so I don't know what you mean by graphic violence. I don't even remember any graphic violence in that Ransom.
Yeah, just I know people get shot and stuff, but I mean there was a
Well,
lot
yeah,
more crazy like
yeah.
squib shootings and a lot of other stuff before that.
I'll ask this because Neil Punk has asked this about 5 times now. What
What's
if
up?
Stuntman Mark's thoughts on Zack Snyder films?
Hmm.
I don't know what that's to do with Predator 2, but okay.
Um, very competent filmmaker. His work is somewhat questionable for me in terms of entertainment value or even replay value. Um, yeah, he's fine. I mean, I don't. I have some of his stuff, but I don't watch his stuff a lot. I think he did do a good adaptation of Watchmen. That's probably the best that you could get. Um, and again, that's if you know the source material, it's pretty much spot on. Um, the Snyderverse stuff, that's a lot to go into. I don't want to take up
Yeah,
too
it
much Predator
is.
2 time on that, but there's some hit and miss stuff in there for me. Maybe I could cover that after this is over.
But yeah, I agree. So, yeah, a lot of nice train shots. I mean, Stephen Hopkins, he did some of that also in Judgment Night as well. Those type of shots. There was a time he was pretty good and ambitious as a filmmaker, and I don't mind like even the Ghost in the Darkness. I didn't mind, and
That's a really good movie. I
yeah,
love that movie. Yeah,
and I don't remember. Well, and then like later, it was like Lost in Space. I wasn't a fan of.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Not,
And
I
then
saw
was it
that
the
in the theater,
Reaping?
so it's
You did?
I did. Like my uncle was like a big fan of like just Lost in Space, and he's like, "Oh, the movie's gonna be great," and I'm like, "Sure, whatever." So we go see it, and I was just taken aback by it, like, and not in a good way because I was like, "What?" It's just kind of a mess, like all around. Maybe it's fun for some, but I'm not one of those people that digs that
No.
movie. I've seen it that one time, and I've never cared to watch it again.
Hey there, Psycho Hobo. If you're talking about the HP Lovecraft reaction, yeah, I did get it. I'll get to it as soon as I can. Just gotta secure some time. It's about 90 minutes or so. So I just gotta fit time in where I'm not interrupted. Because it's hard to do that when you gotta sit down and not be interrupted for when you're doing like a commentary for 90 minutes or some. I'm sure other people understand with the schedules. Hey, yeah, Nippy, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Lost in Space movie was okay, but I prefer the show. Just me. Yeah, I didn't like Lost in Space the movie, not at all. And they did what the Reaping with Hilary Swank or something.
Mm-hmm.
That
That was
wasn't
not.
much either.
Yeah, that was not good either.
And hey there, DJ Donnelly. Hope you're doing well. This was an interesting bit here with this scream.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the predator squealing, or is it? It
Oh,
probably is, but I always thought it was kind of almost like his voice box kind of ripping apart.
hmm.
Like, yeah, like imagine if the predator grabs you and is tearing you up.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe that's the voice box stretching as it's ripping his spine out or something, or whatever it did. Because
I
it's
think
such a weird
it
thing.
is, but there's another scene. I think when he gets struck by lightning or something, he's on the top of the
Oh,
building.
okay.
Doesn't he scream again like that? It's sort of a similar sound. So I
Oh,
always thought
okay.
it was him screaming.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just put that in my head, which is it seemed more horrifying.
That is very disturbing now that you say
But
that.
yeah, you're right. It is the predator. Yeah, exactly. Similar ways. I was thinking of that Day of the Dead. Yeah, top the original where the guy's head.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, and you just hear the voice. Maybe that's why I was too. I was thinking of that, but yeah, you guys are right. It is the predator. I guess I just try to make it more horrifying in my head. Joe, I don't know what Phantom is, and I reviewed the house that Jeff built. It was interesting, like I said, um, but I didn't hate it. And Joe, it depends what it is, man. If it's Killers of Flower Moon, like I said, I'm not watching a 3.5 hour movie. I don't have the time to just watch one movie for almost 4 hours. I apologize. I just It's a bit too much for me. This is what you were talking about. You know, he's going to pay that
Mm-hmm.
revenge aspect.
Yeah, he's asked him to drop, and he's like, "I don't care. I'm going to finish it."
And this is one of my favorite scenes coming up, where I just love how he just manhandles Gary Busey, and it's that one move. You shoot the fuck out of my way, and he does this like
Yeah.
as a nice exclamation mark to the scene, because it, I don't know, just a nice addition that not many people would do. But I don't know if that was ad libbed or if that was in the script or if Danny Glover just did that, but it works right here. Like a total disrespect, like almost like fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't mention Adam Baldwin
Ah, yes.
still dealing with aliens from X Files. You know.
Oh yeah, he was. Yep, he was X Files. Adam Baldwin, uh, on the left side of the screen to Gary Busey. He was in Full Metal Jacket as, was it Animal, or I forget his code name.
God, it's been a while since I've seen.
But he was in Full
I
Metal
think he
Jacket.
is Animal.
He was in Independence Day. He was the guy that shot the alien that was trying to get Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
That killed Data from Star Trek. Well, I guess not killed, because in the sequel he was in a coma and then he's alive for some fucking reason. In that shitty Independence Day sequel. For all that remember that fucking sequel.
Try to forget.
ID4 Resurgence, was it?
Yeah.
Where Will Smith died off screen. Which I'm like, cool. I don't care. And then Bill Pullman dies at the end by some stupid bullshit. Fucking stupid fucking movie. If you met Danny Glover from this movie, what would you ask him about the film? That'd be tough. It just, there's a lot of questions.
I know it's one of his
Probably
favorites
like,
in his
was
filmography.
it?
Yeah, he said that a couple of times, that like he really enjoyed the film because there was so much for him to do. I mean, and if you look at it, there is a lot of. I mean, it's a lot like a Lethal Weapon type role. I know I've mentioned that earlier, but he said he was like in great shape at this time, probably the best shape of his life, and he just had a
Yeah.
blast. And I know he
Okay,
enjoyed
I haven't seen this.
working with the cast as well, Paxton and Busey and all those guys.
I haven't seen those interviews. I must have missed them. I have to go find them. I don't know where they are, but
yeah, if you Google it, you might be able to find it. I don't know if you'd find like the actual videos anymore. Those are pretty old.
I guess I would ask. I hope he knows that there's some people like us that really appreciate and love it, and hopefully he enjoys it as well. That, you know, there are people that, even though he got dogged on back in the day, which was bullshit. You're not Arnold. You suck. Which to me wasn't fair at all.
No,
you're fat. That's what another be like. Derek Glover's fat. He can't take on the Predator. They just totally fucking unfair, in my opinion. So I would just say
and that's so wrong, because if you were I mean, I'm not saying like we're trying to check him out or anything, but like he had his shirt off in the earlier scene. He was in decent shape. I mean, again, hardly any man alive that's an actor is Arnold Schwarzenegger, so it's never a fair comparison.
And let's be honest, at that time, even Arnold admits some of them were enhanced with steroids. Arnold would admit that. So unless you wanted Danny Glover to take steroids,
Danny Glover on the juice.
that sounds like a new thriller. Glover on the juice. And of course, this lady here, she was in Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yes,
as
Mother
the evil
Superior.
Yeah, the first Silent Night, Deadly Night. The hateable Mother Superior that Didn't get her just desserts. Well, kind of the sequel, but it was a different actress. So
Yeah, that's what I always like about the sequel. Like, he accomplishes his goal. Like, you got to give it up for that.
Eric Freeman, yeah, he did what the other guy couldn't
That's right.
in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Eyebrows and all. Yeah, I know about the video Predminator, the goof where because I think all the other Predators were like basketball players, I believe, the Lakers or something. Like at the end when he had all the Predators around because they needed really tall people, so it was like a basketball team. I want to say it was the Lakers,
Hmm.
and so yeah, there's like a goof video where they're all kind of like having fun dancing around just to relax on set. It's like a goofy little video on YouTube,
That's
but
cool.
yeah, I think I know they were basketball players. I think it was the Lakers. I could be wrong. Because again, they needed so many at that time.
Hmm.
Here they come out of Snoop Dogg's car,
Yeah.
the smoke. Although, what was that thing recently? Snoop Dogg said he wasn't going to smoke weed anymore, and then like 24 hours later, it's like that's bullshit. I don't
Yeah,
buy
it
that.
was like promotion for like something that like emits fire or some shit, like where he's like, "Oh, there's no more smoke." I'm like, I knew you were trolling us. Like, nobody's gonna believe that. Come on.
Lillian Chauvin, that's the name of the actress. Okay, Lillian Chauvin. Okay, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Someone has thoughts on steroids. I don't take them, so
Yeah.
don't take them. I like my penis to not be the size of a thimble. No
You
thanks.
don't want it to be microscopic.
Now here we have Teen Willie.
That's right.
It's the policeman.
What's this whole deal? His thing, he's like got the fucking like the chicken bones or whatever. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, apparently this is what Terminator says. This is the alley that Michael Biehn first dropped in Terminator 1. That's what Terminator says. And he definitely follows these films. Like Terminator seems like an expert on these films. That's why his username.
Right.
Someone's asking what Predator 3 should have been. I don't think Arnold and Danny teaming up. I don't know about that. I can see the appeal.
I
How
can't
do you like
remember what it
okay,
was supposed to be. I do remember Rodriguez was involved with the production of the third movie. I don't remember
yeah.
what happened though with that. Obviously, it didn't get made, but I can't remember what his concept was.
Yeah, I'd probably rather meet Danny Glover than Arnold for me. Just because I would ask him, like everyone knows about Predator 1, I would like to talk about Predator 2 since it gets trashed a lot. I'm just more curious about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least there's a documentary on Predator 1 where Carl Weathers and other people talk about it on the DVD. There's none of that for Predator 2. So, but okay, if you could do a Predator 3, what would you have done? Let's say this was a massive hit,
Mm-hmm.
1990. You probably think a sequel, I don't know, could be 93, 92, 94. You're guessing. What do you think the story would be, or who you would cast, or etc.?
Mm, I like Danny in this one, um, but he sort of got his revenge at the end, and I
Yeah.
probably would have went in a different direction with somebody else who I would have cast around that time. I'm not sure. Um,
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of like the people that were even like in movies at that time. That's a tough question. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what.
Silverwing says, "Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead."
Oh, I just
No, I
I
say
wouldn't have
Silver.
done the same thing again. That's all. I would have
Right,
tried to make it different somehow, tell a completely different
right.
story. More than likely, not do it in the city again because I wouldn't want to try to top what Hopkins had already done,
Yeah,
um, or improve upon it because I think he did a good job with the material, regardless of what anyone says. But
yeah,
yeah, I would have changed the setting. Where I would have put it, I don't think doing something like on their planet would have been as good because that's such a big budget thing. Like, I don't know if you could shoot that with a reasonable sized budget and like have all these locations where there's no buildings without it not looking like a bunch of sets. I know they try to pull off a lot of that with the third film, Predators. But I mean, a lot of it is just jungle stuff. I mean, other than like the sky backdrop and stuff like that, and seeing other planets in the distance, um, that's clearly not real. So I
yeah,
don't know. That's a tough question. I'd have to really think about it.
yeah. Yeah, Arc Founder, we've talked about before. Predator 2 supposed to have Arnold. Yeah, we've talked about that throughout the commentary. Um, let's see. Psycho says I would have Predator 3 be about Predator teaming up with Danny, take on even more violent predators. I don't know. I don't know if that'd be different enough. Like I said, I think Danny's story ended here.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, it'd be tough. I mean, I always had the idea. I don't know if it'd be the third film, but remember that movie Soldier with Kurt Russell?
Yes.
Imagine if that was like a predator left behind because he was thought as a either too old, too weak, too renegade, whatever.
Okay.
And then he had an actual code. You know, he went with the code of honor.
Hmm.
What if there was like a series of predators that had no code? It would just kill innocents regardless of weaponry.
Hmm.
So then the predator was like a protector against these younger, deadlier, faster predators. And you'd have limited dialogue
Hmm.
and just really showcase with action and direction and style. And it's not that he's a goody two shoes, it's just he has his honor code that he follows, unlike these other like renegade group of predators that don't
Hmm.
give a shit.
Yeah,
I just think like that would be interesting.
that would kind of be an interesting take. Although, wouldn't you say that this predator, although he seems a bit more, how should I say, violence hungry? Like he seems
Yeah.
like he likes the conflict a lot more than the predator in the first film, and in the
Yeah.
way that like he goes looking for it. But in the first
Hmm.
movie, that predator's sort of like, I have the feeling like maybe it crash landed there and it's in the jungle, and Arnold and his team just happen to cross its path. So, all right, well, I
Yeah.
see you now. Now I have to do something, and I see how you guys have taken out this other crew of badasses. So, like, like here's my prey. I'm the predator. So with this one, it seems like he was definitely a lot more prone to violence and seeking it out, and he wanted to. It was fun for him, basically. But he
Hmm.
didn't go over the line of being completely ruthless because later he picks up the Leona character and he has her by the throat, and he doesn't kill her because she's pregnant.
Well,
Which
even this scene here with the kid, he doesn't kill the kid because it's a toy
mhm,
gun.
right. Um, I know that that's touched on in the novelization some. Um,
Hmm.
why he doesn't actually kill Leona's character.
Oh, okay.
Um, I always thought. that kind of stuff was interesting because as evil as this one seems, it
Yeah,
does have somewhat of a morality, like in the fact that, like, well, this is a waste of time. It's too easy. I'm gonna go seek out something that's gonna be a bit more fun.
yeah. And there's that pendant that just why did he do that? Just to fuck with them. I thought again that was a nice little interesting. It gave like a little bit more to the character of the predator that
Hmm.
we hadn't seen before. I'm not gonna hunt you now. I'm just gonna fuck with you. Look, I killed your buddy. I don't go after your other buddies. So he's a dick.
Yeah,
Want some candy? Yeah, that is a real predator would say. Want some candy? Exactly. So the predator's pro-life. I guess so.
yeah.
No sport.
Oliver
Unless it
lied
maybe it's
by
the baby.
texting a second ago.
Yeah.
No autographs. And I would imagine this was Hopkins' attempt to sort of satirize the culture at the time where everybody's got a gun. I could be
Yeah,
wrong, but
absolutely.
like
I think so.
everybody on the train has a gun. Um, and then it also
Probably like
makes
the
the team.
writers.
Yeah.
The writers probably thought of this, yeah.
Hmm. Um, but it makes the scene a lot more interesting. Everybody's got a
Yeah.
gun. Like, how do you make that more chaotic, more crazy? It just fits in line with what Hopkins wanted to do of taking everything over the top. Everybody has a gun. It's not just the two cops that are on the train that have it or the gang members. Everybody has a gun. So once the lights go out
Plus
here, it's just chaos, pure chaos.
plus you establish why the predator kills so many people because they all
Hmm.
have guns. Because you'd be
Exactly.
thinking, well, wait, the predator doesn't kill you if you're not armed. But that showed everybody was armed. So
Hmm.
now everybody's fair game because everyone's going to try to shoot him and he's going to shoot them, fuck them up
Hmm.
before.
Yeah.
And the predator's cleaning house in this movie. That's another thing is that, like you said, he was ruthless in the original. This one, he seems even more. This type of person, see, does seem more ruthless, more loving it. So having more
Yeah.
of a good time with it.
It's just so many cool moments. And even the way he shot this, like, that's really bold and like, I mean, I don't even know how you make that work where there's just constant flashes of light, but you can still see what's
Yeah.
going on. And then the heat vision, of course, you get that too. Like, it just works really well. It's really fun.
Was John McTiernan busy? Well, he probably, I don't even know if he would have wanted to do a sequel anyway. But yeah, he had The Hunt for Red October. Yeah. Who knows? He probably didn't want to. A lot of these directors don't want to do sequels anyway. So
Hmm.
they're probably like, I did my film, move on.
Yeah. Oh, here's my scene.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, talk about this.
It's just like, what do you expect's gonna happen here? But he's just like, yeah, yeah, come get some more. It reminds me of the aliens scene where he's like, oh, you want some? Come get some. He's just shooting the aliens and aliens. It's so good.
The only thing that's a little bit confusing is that is he just hitting every piece of armor and he doesn't connect at all with the flesh? Or are we supposed to think that the pistol is so useless, doesn't do anything to him? Because he's shooting like point blank and
Hmm.
it keeps him, but you think at least one or two shots would have hit
Hmm.
somewhere the flesh.
Maybe
Or are we,
Predminator could answer that a bit. I know he's more of the expert, but I always thought that their flesh was a lot more tough. Maybe he was
Hmm.
hitting a lot of the armor, but when he does finally get shot later, it's that huge shotgun that Danny Glover has.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like okay, well, that's definitely a more powerful weapon. Maybe you need something like that. Um, and
Right.
going back to you talking about him being more hungry for violence, or I guess we both did, but
Yeah.
on the poster it even says that like he's in town with a few days to kill. So
Yeah.
I always love that. And the three words at the top, I think it says silent, invisible, and invincible. And it's like that's a
Yeah.
great
True.
selling point. That's a really cool poster. I love the purple and like color scheme and everything. It's cool.
Oh yeah. Are you talking about the one with just the city
Hmm.
scape?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That's why. That's the VHS I had back in the day. Was that one with that cover, which was interesting. I mean, most posters of Predator 2 isn't like that, but that one's interesting to show a bit of that kind of to not have the Predator or anybody at all, just that city. I just made it a bit more unique.
Hmm.
And yeah, Jesse, hope you're doing well. Yes, Stephen Hawkins did direct Judgment Night, which is a good one. Predminator says, I'm not sure. I think Patterson was hitting all the armor, not the flesh, which is weird because he was firing at random. Yeah, his luck ran out. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That lucky thing didn't help. That's why he threw it away.
Yeah, the
Great.
golf, was it a golf ball that he was throwing?
Something like that, yeah. And yeah, this is where the predator notices is going to notice her pregnancy, and then there you go. But that's a great reveal
Hmm.
from close. And yet, Tim Peter Hall has played the predator here and in the first one. Great performer. He was also Harry and Harry and the Hendersons.
Hmm.
Passed away way too young. I mean, maybe because of his. I don't know if I just a lot of those tall guys just their heart gives out pretty quick, and it's too bad. Way too young.
Hmm.
And nobody's really played a predator well since. I don't know, just they don't have the body movements, or they seem bulky, or they seem like fat asses, and maybe a little bit in I don't know. I mean, some are okay, but just seemed like none of them had what Tim Peter Hall had in the first two. Some
Hmm.
have been okay. Some have been awful, like AVP, which they look like just bulky fat asses.
Although
Because Paul W. Sanderson's an idiot.
I think I remember reading that Kevin Peter Hall's death wasn't it from HIV or something like that?
Oh, was it?
Or it was
Okay, I
like
didn't
I
know
know it was a
that.
car accident or something, and then I guess it was complications that he already had, something like that.
Premier Premier says he got AIDS from a blood transfusion. He was in a car accident and
That's what it
needed
was.
blood. They didn't test for AIDS back then. Wow.
That's what it was.
Okay, I just assumed. There you go. I just wow, that's horrific. A
Yeah,
blood transfusion go wrong like that? Jesus.
yeah, he was
That,
really young
maybe
too.
that's why I didn't. Maybe that's why I didn't look into it. That's fucking depressing now.
Yeah,
Something could have been easily fixed, changed, because people didn't do their fucking job. Why the
yeah,
fuck would you not test? Now that makes me mad. Why the fuck do even stuff for anything when you? Why would you not test the blood? They don't transfuse to someone. What the fuck?
yeah. That's
Sorry, I just
horrifying. Like the people that you count on to save your ultimately cause your demise. Like that's really fucked up.
Jesus. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Uh, Arnold and Jesse became friends after Predator, and then the Running Man they did together, and then Sven, his Arnold's buddy Sven Thorson and Jesse did that Abraxas movie, which is awful. And yeah, they just became friends on the set of Predator, and then, hey Jesse, what to do the Running Man? Yeah, from here on out, it's like this whole finale is just relentless.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't stop in a good way.
Yeah.
And coming up is, I love this bit with Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah.
More victims, more mutilation. Fuck you. He did the Russell Crowe. He did the. And I said, as much as I like the finale in Predator, I love it. This one, because I think the city and like all this stuff around it, it just felt, I don't know what it is, just felt grander to me. Where
Mm-hmm.
Denny has more of a, I think because they're two different fights. One's much more stealthy. This one's much more one-on-one, back and forth.
Yeah.
And that, it was enjoyable in Predator. I enjoyed it even more in this one because of that.
Yeah. And I mean, it turns into kind of like a fist fight in the end of the original. I mean, you have two big fucking brutes like just battling, and it's the kind of fight that you expect to see. This is, like I said before, a lot less. But there's no guarantee that he's going to make it.
Right.
Up until this point, like characters like Gary Busey, for example, who are much smarter and much more knowledgeable about what this alien is, they died. But somehow, like, he made it. So.
But yeah, and there's the stream, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
on that shot with the, I forget what building is that. That what that building's called? That he's standing on.
Know.
And this is a little bit like the company in Aliens, like the.
Mm-hmm.
You expected Paul Reiser to come out, fucking Burke.
He should have. That would have been awesome.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, despite what I was saying, Gary Busey did a lot of great stuff back in the day. You know, I enjoyed him in Silver Bullet.
Yes.
He's really good in this. Just the way, I mean, it's telling exposition, but doing it in a way that's not boring. It's like he's given his bit of flavor to it of, you know, the tigers, the bears, oh my.
Yeah.
He did his little, make it as so it's, and there, you know, there's the original. They found two survivors. That was Arnold and the girl. And you even see her on some of the video, Anna, and some of the wide shots. You see Anna like being interviewed, the girl from the first one. There she is.
Yep.
Well, not anymore, but she was on one of the TV screens.
There's the line.
That was the Eastern Building. Okay, it's just called the Eastern Building. Okay. No, you're welcome, Predminator.
Of course, they're in it for the technology.
Yeah, like either money or technology is going to be. Well, money, technology, or to save their ass. It's always one of the three.
Mm-hmm. And you learn a little bit more about the character, the Predator character.
Yeah.
You find out that he likes beef.
But not enough to ruin anything.
Right.
It's a sequel that builds, doesn't ruin anything. It's not like he's looking for autism.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking for the secret power, I guess, in autism, like the new one did. Because apparently, if you have autism, you have a superpower that the predator wants to take and use for his own to be more powerful. Like, did you explain that to me when the predator, like, wants the kid, he's on the spectrum to get his
Mm-hmm.
DNA because somehow that makes their species smarter, better? Like, how do you explain that?
I don't. I can't.
That's Fred Decker. What
I
happened, Fred?
I don't.
Monster Squad.
I scratched
And
my head
this.
so many times trying to figure out just what the hell they were trying to do with that. Like parts of it, I get what they were going for, like the group of comrades thing. It's not too reminiscent of the first one. Like I get it, but like it was just like they wasted Thomas Jane in that. I'm a big Thomas Jane fan. He was like a guy who said absurd things, or he had Tourette's or something like that, right? Like he just said weird
Yeah,
things, and I
like
always thought
Flippy
like,
with an aardvark.
yeah, it's like what? Why the comedy element? Like you don't have to have that. Like the comedy will probably just come out of those guys more than likely improvising. And I don't like the cast. It's just the way that what they had the characters doing. It was just baffling. I, I never
Well, the
understood
way
that.
they explain it is they go, well, the first Predator had comedy. I guess with the interactions, like, this stuff will make you a sexual goddamn Tyrannosaurus, just like me. Like,
But that
that's not
felt
the
like
same.
right. It felt a little bit more genuine to that type of a character because that's what you'd expect that character to say. But to see Thomas Jane twitch and say weird things about women's vaginas and shit, it's just like, yeah, I'm good. You could keep all that dialogue.
Okay, they're mini 14s and a bullpup muzzleite stock. Cool. Talking about what Gary Busey's crew has.
Mhm.
You don't have to tell me also when Danny delivered this his shotgun, is that a Spas 15 or is that a different type of shotgun? I'm curious. Oh, okay. Nah, that reminds me, okay. I thought they looked familiar. I remember those now. I don't know why it reminds me of that shitty scene in Jurassic World when they're trying to trap the invisible dinosaur. The camouflage dinosaur that is only camouflage in that scene, but then at the end, when he's fighting two dinosaurs, decides I don't need to be camouflage anymore. I'm fine. Like, wouldn't that be some? Wouldn't that be a good time to be camouflage? Was in fighting two dinos at the same time?
Mhm.
But I guess they forgot. I don't know how to do this. I got nowhere else to go. I didn't learn how to read.
Those newer movies are ridiculous. I can't watch those. Just I can't.
Benelli MT Super 90. That's the shotgun. Cool. Benelli.
Hmm.
I learned how to read. Cool.
Speaking of Jurassic Park, is that the same shotgun the guy has in Jurassic Park when he gets like eaten by the Velociraptor in that one scene? You know how he slowly takes the stock off the back of the shotgun. Do you remember that
Oh
scene?
yeah, I don't think so. Someone
Maybe
rings a
Silver
bell
Wings.
because
Yeah.
he played one of the Jurassic Park games and he didn't mention that name of the shotgun, so he'll definitely know. Spas 12, so it's not the same.
Okay.
See, I thought it was Spas, but it's Spas 12.
Okay.
Clever girl.
Yeah.
This is also like we did that the Predator has different, which makes sense. It has different visions.
Hmm.
Now, what does the Predator say there? I never understood what he said. He says something.
Yeah, I can't tell.
It
I
doesn't
never
come
could
up.
tell.
It doesn't come up on subtitles. Like Predator, if you know, what does the Predator say during that when he has his hands up? Fuckers will pay or something. I don't know. I don't know what he says. Motherfuckers. I don't know what he says. Do you know Predator what he says? Because it doesn't show up on the subtitles. He says the Predator says something. Uh, Thank you, Joe. I have no interest in Napoleon unless it's Bill and Ted's That's an Adventure and he's eating ice cream with the piggy wiggy. That's the only Napoleon I like. Going down water slides. I'll watch that one. I don't care about Napoleon.
As
I
much
have no interest in
research,
Napoleon.
as much research as like Gary Busey and his team have done, you'd think that they would know, like, hey, maybe he has different spectrums of light that he can see in.
Uh, Premier says it's either now you will die or Mother of God. He might have said Mother of God because that's what Ruben Blades said before he dies. But to me, it sounds like now you will die. Hmm. Hmm. Here goes the Predator clean house again.
Yep.
I think that's also nice too because you have the city. You're able to have these all these different environments as a backdrop.
Yeah.
Just understandably so, where the jungle is going to look the same because it's a jungle. What more can you do? But here, again, just to have that variety was nice to
Hmm.
see look wise. That movie came out just before the 1994 assault weapon ban, so the SPAS 12 sold poorly in America and was stopped being manufactured in 2000. The assault weapon ban.
Oh, this is a great shot coming up as well, where you have the Predator jumping simultaneously while it thinks it's killing Gary Busey.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then there's the loud scream as it jumps through the air.
Yeah. Great design, too, by Stan Winston's uh, team on this. Just like the first one. But
Yeah.
still, it has some little different look here and there, like some different tattoos and stuff on the Predator.
Mhm.
And Danny's geared up for war. He's
Yeah.
got everything. Yes, rest in peace, Stan Winston. I love this too because like that's the guy who I really wanted this whole time. Fuck this guy.
Yeah. And he just jumps.
That's the
Oh,
guy who I wanted.
that's awesome. That shot. It's awesome.
Yes, there was. I love the weapons lit up scene. That's another thing you don't see a lot nowadays. Probably because it's looked at as cheesy, but I don't know. To me, it works. Whether being Commando, Rambo 2, even a scene like this.
Mhm. I remember as a
Now, his
kid,
weapon looks. Yeah.
I thought that like, oh, the water, like it's messing with his ability to go invisible, but that's not what it was. That shot right there was always confusing because like he's trying to activate the mechanism and like it doesn't work. But he
Right.
looks up at the water and you kind of put two and two together, like, oh, but if you remember earlier, like he walks in the water. But I think he says something about like spraying him with the stuff like it adheres to his body, making him visible, which I didn't grasp until I was a little bit older because I wasn't really paying attention in that scene when I was young.
Ooh.
The John Woo dive right there. What John Woo did,
I like the
the
little,
third Predator.
yeah. I would like that little detail where you saw a little bit of the red burning in
Mm-hmm.
the chest thick piece when after taking it off. That's a nice little detail that
Yeah.
they put in there. If you don't fire a shotgun, why not specify right there up close and personal?
Yep.
Great use of slow mo.
Mm-hmm. It's the first time
And
it's
there's
felt
the
any real
shots there.
pain.
Yeah.
So you got to make it a special moment.
One ounce slugs will mess up your day, powerful enough to take down grizzly bears. There you go. I know it sounds weird. I always love the use of shotguns in movies. It's always like if there's a particular weapon I love seeing used, it's always a shotgun. I always call it shotgun fun. I don't know what it is, just whenever someone pulls that out, just I know good times are ahead.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting how the more advanced weapons were given to a rookie predator rather than the weapons we see in the first film. Well, I mean, who's to say this is a rookie predator? It might not be a rookie predator, and it just might be just a guy that says, "Fuck it, I want to go now." Maybe hothead predator.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna jump. This question just popped in my head. Like for you, what do
Sure.
you think was the reason that they had the ship under that apartment building? Like, how would that have entered and not caused like a large gaping hole, or nobody heard anything? Like the stealth, I could understand because it does have a cloaking device on it, on the body of the predator, so it's not too far fetched to say the ship wouldn't have it. But how would that have actually gotten there?
Well, what's the hole it comes out of that Danny Glover walks out of at the
It's
end?
like it seems like a long tunnel or some sort,
Yeah.
and like I don't think that there's an explosion once it leaves because I know he jumps, but I think that's just the blast of
Yeah,
like
the blast
fire
of
or
it
something.
going away from him. So like
Right.
the thrusters.
Hmm.
So I just figured it went back in that tunnel and went in the first time.
Hmm. I suppose.
Because it's not like it made the hole. I figured the hole was there the
Hmm.
whole time. So
Hmm.
Danny followed it in order to get out. And I mean, I don't know. I haven't been to LA, so I don't know how everything works there and the
Hmm.
environment. So to be honest, I've never really visited LA, so I don't know how the landscape is.
Love Busey right here. He's all fucked up, but he's still about business. It's between me and him.
Now, this is probably the MPA like biggest cut because I think you definitely saw a lot more of this. I guarantee a
Yeah.
lot more. Because I remember at first going, "What happened? Like, did it cut his head off?" But it's like, "Oh, did it just cut his half his body?"
Hmm.
Because I remember when I was young, I was confused at first as to what had happened. And yeah, I'm
Same.
guessing you probably saw a bit more of that, but thanks to the MPAA. Yeah, it probably showed more of that, but the MPA probably made them cut it.
Hmm. Or did it just pass
Because what
through
was
him
it
and
more?
then come back?
Hmm?
Did it just pass through him and then come back out
Yeah,
instead of cutting him in half? Maybe it just went through his
right,
midsection and then came back out.
right. Hopkins confirmed that scene was cut. Well, there you go.
Mhm.
Fucking MPA. And that's the thing, it's hard to blame a movie when that wasn't its purpose. The MPA fucking, like you mentioned before, how they take people's mortgages. Hey Joe, thank you. Don't know nothing about Kingpin 2. I don't. You don't need a sequel. And Randy Quaid was. You don't come out of hiding
Oh
from his
yeah,
attack. Where the hell he's going? Whatever that happened to him.
yeah.
I don't
He
even
like
remember what happened to him. He just
he like
decided to hide.
started doing a bunch of crazy videos, and
Yeah.
I think didn't he do like a sex tape or something?
Really? I hope not.
I'm pretty sure it was because like he was like having sex with some chick, and he's like, "This is me getting fucked over by the studio or something." He's like, "This is what they're doing to me." Yeah, I remember. Was that TMZ or like it was one of those like sites like that. He was really pissed about like some payouts he didn't receive. I think from Fox.
Movie Guide, the NC-17 cut is out there. It's the work print. But again, if you watch it, there's nothing NC-17 about, just the MPA being stupid. But you can find the work print out there fairly easily. So that's out there. But again, there's nothing. It would easily get a soft. It would. I would say even just a soft R nowadays.
Hmm.
But the MPA being stupid. But the work print's out there. You can find it.
How much of a fuck did he not give to like throw his body at the predator and like just didn't care where they landed once they went over the side?
Like I said, I love that back and forth the we saw previously where like he dodges, but he's shooting, dodging the spear, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Your move, pussy face. Even more of a dick predator. I mean, imagine he all. I guess really it was the beginning, kind of like the beginning of that video game I heard of, Concrete Jungle, where he uses this type of device and it blows up all these city blocks. That's what would happen here.
Mhm.
And Darren was like, "Fuck you."
That's so cool. And the fight continues. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And he's sort of the hunter at this point. He starts
Oh yeah.
chasing. Yeah.
And now we see a little bit more of his medical abilities. We
Mhm.
saw a tiny bit in Predator when he put that thing in his leg or whatever, but here you definitely see a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Lethal Weapon films, movie guy. I'd probably say for me this is my favorite Danny Glover film for me, but I do like the Lethal Weapon movies.
Same.
But I always like Danny Glover. I even like Gone Fish and Joe Pesci. I
Joe
even like that
Pesci.
one.
Yeah. He's got the whole kit. And where the hell did he pull that out of? Like, he just comes from like, he's like, oh, I have this huge fucking like block of like equipment.
So you've seen the other ones, like we've talked about the Predator and you've seen Predators.
Mhm.
What was your thoughts on Predators?
Um, it's fine. I can watch it. Um, between that and the Predator, it's definitely a lot more watchable. Um,
Hmm.
I think part of it is like I like the cast.
Hmm.
If I had to pick anything, that's one of the best parts about it. Um, it has some fun moments. It's it's meh to me. It's like middle of the road kind of movie. Like I could take it or leave it, but I can watch it and have some fun with it. It's definitely not what I expected, given the fact that Rodriguez was involved. I think he was like producer, and I think he did have a hand in like some of the creative stuff that they were like picking to do with it. But yeah, I would have rather Rodriguez done it. Um, and probably whatever they were going to do with the third movie that was going to come out after this. It just, I don't know. I've always been so on that one. Um, it's not the best. It's not the worst. Very middle for
Right.
me.
Yeah, I never cared for it, but Sal has been much, much worse.
Hmm.
Like The Predator. Fucking comedy.
Yeah.
Take a guy's arm with a thumbs up and put it through, and hey, when he cut the guy's arm off, that was this, and puts it
Hmm.
in for the driver to see. I went, what the fuck? That looked like a SNL skit.
Hmm. You didn't like the super predator thing in that one, like the really big one.
Fuck no. And you could tell. I mean, it's come to find out that that whole finale was completely reshot. That wasn't anything what they wanted. That whole probably last 30 minutes was a complete reshoot.
Hmm. He's so pissed. Why can't this guy stay on the ground?
And I don't blame him. Especially, I think we've established his fear of heights. He already had it go down once. Now he's got to do it again.
Oh yeah. Um, Going back to the ship though. Now we're
Yeah.
about to see that it's been hidden underneath here all this time, and they don't go into any deep detail, but I just
Yeah.
could never wrap my head around like the whole ship's there. To me, it was always like he went rogue, he went away from the pack, landed there on his own, and then just started looking for chaos and to start trouble, basically, or find any
Hmm.
trouble that was already happening and then just throw himself in the mix. But it was a large group of them there.
Well, it seems
Or
like,
was it, or was this supposed to be
okay.
its test? Like, hey, go
Yeah.
out. Okay.
I think that's what it's. That's why I look at it.
Mhm.
So maybe that's why some people thought he was more of a. Maybe he is more of a younger. That's why he's more gun ho to do stuff. So
Mhm.
maybe I want. I don't know. Maybe rookie. Maybe he is a rookie predator. Maybe that is the case, and so he's more gun ho. And it's like, okay, here's your test. When you're able to do it, come back here and give us all the trophies you got, and we'll see if you pass or no.
Mhm.
So, and yeah, primarily you were asking, yeah, there is a mistake later on when the Predator has his mask off that he still sees in heat vision. Yeah, that was a mistake because you see in Predator 1 that the vision is much more red, just
Mhm.
like blanket red. But here, like when he hits Danny Glover and he flies back, you still see the heat vision, like he'd have the mask on. So that is a little mistake they made. So that's one little screw up they did. So, but no movie's perfect. Hey Joe, I don't know what you mean by both movies, but yeah, I did like Carl Wez. I do like Action Jackson. Maybe it means Rocky Four and Predator. Yeah, but Action Jackson was good. I always like Carl Weathers. He's good in The Mandalorian,
Yeah.
and it's too bad they didn't do more with him in the '90s, except shitty Hulk Hogan films. The Salted Death Island, whatever that was called. Another cool moment is steeping that
Hmm.
with the disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Happy Gilmore. Carl Weathers was good in that. I always love that shot, that swing of the camera where they're going almost like a sword fight, going back and forth.
Yeah.
And wait, Danny Glover does better than Arnold in the fight because Arnold just got his ass kicked and got to the thing, the kick, and here it's much more of a one-on-one fight. He does better than Arnold does.
Yeah.
See, he's still seeing heat vision, which he shouldn't be. So
Hmm.
I don't think they paid attention to that bit in the first Predator. Playing possum, and there you go.
Yeah.
That's right, asshole. Shit happens. That's coming up. Yeah,
The
Premier, I like
sound
the look of the
effects
ship. It
here,
looks pretty.
like,
But go
I
ahead.
never got that. It's like
That what?
mechanical kind of sound effects. I didn't know. I, I wasn't sure if, like, maybe it's the disc retracting and opening and closing inside of him, or I don't know.
I just knows. I don't know. I just knows more of the bellowing that the Predator has. But it might be the disc as well. Yeah, movie guy. I like the disc. It's a pretty badass gadget. I agree. Yeah, it's true. This Predator has a bunch of slugs in him and is one-handed. So, but they didn't. That made sense. It's like, okay, how do we make it to make it logical that Danny Glover will take on the Predator? Well, he breaks him down.
Yeah,
He
he's
has
sort of
one hand.
using
He's
his
got
own
slugs in him.
technology against him as well with the disc.
So now it makes sense how he could go one on one because it's one handed. It's not some fucking girl that weighs 80 pounds doing Gymkhana, jumping off trees against this predator who's fine and dandy. She weighs like, again, not even, she weighs 80 pounds, dripping wet, and can do parkour shit. Because I guess
Mm.
Native Americans did parkour shit back in the day. Is able to
That's
make the
where it all
predator
started.
cut his own fucking hand off and do all this other shit while taking a flower power that someone makes your body heat invisible but not affecting your health at all. Because when you take some kind of drug that makes your body heat non-existent, your body will be perfectly fucking fine. That won't affect your body at all. And you do parkour shit. Because yeah, back in the day, the eight, was it 1790, what, 1715, whatever, that you could do
Yeah.
this parkour shit. I didn't know that about Native Americans. They invented parkour. I didn't know that. News to me. That's what I learned from Prey. Fuck that movie, in my opinion. My opinion.
Yeah, Silver Wings. That's a great line. Okay, who's next?
I love all the details they give to each of the predators too, that make each one look unique.
Hmm.
And here's a gun that they show in Prey, the movie
Yeah,
Prey,
fan service.
1715. 1715. Which I think there was a comet that it showcases that encounter, which was interesting. I think there was. Which is worse, Prey or the Predator? I would say the Predator is worse, but I'm still not a fan of Prey. I think Prey's more overrated. I don't just be, oh, it's better than the first one. I disagree. So I would say Prey's the most overrated, but the Predator is the worst one.
Yeah.
I don't know how Prey's better than the first one, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, so I guess it just took off down the tunnel, and then flew
Yeah.
out. And I think it's Adam Baldwin where he shares this line with at the
Yep.
end. It's like, you'll get another chance.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
Yeah.
so definitely implying there'll be another film. They've been here
Yeah.
before. Quite a few things in one.
Yeah. I was going to say something, but I shouldn't.
What were you going to say? I got to hear it now.
I will say. So is this whiteface? Oh yeah, blackface.
It is. Indeed,
This
it is.
whiteface.
It's cocaine body. That's what it is. His whole body's just covered in coke.
He's acting as whiteface. Cancelled. Oh yeah, Silver Wings is alley. You thought the same thing I did. Yep,
That's
there's
true.
Adam Baldwin. And it's already the end of the movie. It just went by
Yeah,
quick.
it definitely did, man. That was really quick.
That's the thing. It didn't feel long at all. That's the thing with this movie for me. It's that it was just relentlessly paced. Maybe that's why it's just always a breeze for me to see this film.
Yeah.
Agreed. Still, okay, can you explain this to me then?
Mm-hmm.
Why did people hate this film so much? Even today, there are people that anytime a new one comes out, they always rag on this one. This is like the lowest, might have
That
been the
was
lowest
going to
rated.
that was going to be my question to you. Is that what is it about the film that you think people don't
I
like
don't
so much?
know.
What's the hate? I don't. And what do they really want? I get it. Like, if you, it's just not your thing. Maybe you're not into the Predator movies. You don't like the character, the concept, whatever. But
Well, okay, it's
if you
like the
do,
mad that Arnold isn't in it. The
okay.
mad that Arnold isn't in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, they don't like the city. They don't like Danny Glover. They feel he's miscast. They
Mhm.
feel like the Jamaican stuff is stupid, or they feel it's silly, or they feel it's cheesy. I don't get it because I don't agree with any of it. So I don't know. I guess it has to be in the jungle or it won't work, and it has to be Arnold or someone like Arnold or it
Mhm.
won't work. I don't know. I never understood it.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around it. I like the first film is a good thing, but you don't want to keep repeating the same thing, which we mentioned earlier. Why would you want a rehash of that? And then usually I'll ask people, okay, so what would you have done different? What would you like to see? And they don't usually say anything. I don't know. I just don't like Predator 2. It's like, well, there should be a little bit more to it than that. But again, to each his own. That's what I always say.
Yeah. Yeah, the score I warmed up to Premiere. I wasn't sure about the additional like kind of Jamaican drums, but I warmed up to it. I do like the score to this film. It's a good score by Alan Silvestri. Back to the Future. Of course, he did the first one.
Hmm.
A lot of movies Alan Silvestri has done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I would ask people, well, why do you like Prey so much? And if you like it, that's fine. But yet you hate this film. Like, please explain. Why is that girl so much more quote believable? Because she could do parkour for some reason. Um, it's better because there's a lot more CGI, CGI bears, CGI. Was it like a wolf or was it a wolf? Was CGI
Yeah.
the first thing he killed?
I
Was it
watched Prey
animal?
once. I think I'm good. Like, it just.
But it's nominated for an Emmy for best movie.
Was it really?
Yeah, nominated for best movie, best writing,
Okay.
best actress by the Emmys. That's true. I mean, I could look it up.
Oh my God. I mean, the female empowerment, that's really big these days. So it checked off all the boxes just because of that.
6 nominations: outstanding directing for a limited or anthology series or movie, outstanding editing, music, outstanding TV movie because it's Hulu, so I guess they count that as a TV movie because it's Hulu.
Okay.
Sound editing, writing with the flowers. I guess it
There's
wasn't acting, but the
there's like
writing.
no dialogue in the movie. Like, what writing? It's just a bunch of scenes.
Well, they talked in Native American, so that equals good
Yeah,
writing.
yeah, that's really good. Oh man. Is that like where we are? Is that how far like the bar has dropped? Now, I'm not going to sit here and completely shit on that film because there
Cool,
is much,
that's fine.
much worse on Hulu for sure. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's not better than Predator 2. Never will be. It's just, I don't care any way you size it up, like, and compare them. It's just, it doesn't have the entertainment value at all. Not in the least bit.
Yes, I agree. Uh, I agree. The bar has dropped. They dropped the bar of soap, and we've all been bent over, and we're taking it at the ass. Look, I mean, in all seriousness, look at this year of movies. There are movies I've liked this year,
Hmm.
but would you call it a great year for movies?
No.
If you compare it to last year, in your guess, do you think what was a better year, last year or this year for movies? Because I would say even last year was better for movies than this year, for me.
That's really off the top. I would just say last year, but I have a hard time even naming things from last year that I thought was really good.
Just like last year, I just say I like Bullet Train. I liked
Mhm.
Day Shift. Like there's movies I could name I liked.
Mhm.
Even Everything Ever All at Once I liked. I
Mhm.
liked that one. This one, I can name films I didn't mind, but I don't know if I can name one I loved. And I just see like, oh, Evil Dead movie, Ninja Turtle movie where they're twerking, and fucking Barbie. Okay, great. I'm a man, so I suck. Thank you, Barbie. Uh, Expendables 4,
Oh,
fucking maybe 5,
yeah.
and 50 Cent. Exorcist, Believer.
Mhm.
The list goes on. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's been nothing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it seems there's a lot more bad than good. And even the good, I haven't seen all movies, granted, but not a lot that I would say I loved.
Have you seen Fincher's new movie, The Killer, with Fassbender as the
Mm-mm,
lead?
I have
Okay,
not.
I think you'd enjoy that one. That one was really well shot. Um, it's a lot like not the movie, but just the concept. I mean, it's called The Killer, and that he's an assassin, hitman,
Mm-hmm.
the video games. That's what it really put me in the mind of.
Hmm.
And there's a lot more to it than the John Wick style of just a hitman taking people out. It so it does have some nuances, and I think there's only so many way you can do so only so many ways you can do a film like that. With The Killer, you have 20 minutes of nonstop dialogue in the opening from Fassbender, where you learn so much about his character, and the entire opening scene, he's just setting up his first kill of the movie. That sort of kicks off like a chain of events that lead to the other parts that I won't spoil. But
Hmm.
I was like, that's really bold. I don't see that happen a lot because you put that movie on in a theater, and I think it only got a limited release. It's a Netflix movie predominantly. You put that movie on in a theater, and people are going to complain boring, not good enough. There's not enough happening. It's this, it's that. But I love the sort of realistic approach to it. The fight
Hmm.
sequences, even. There's one big one in the movie where he's trying to kill someone, and it reminded me of like the fight scene at the end of Eastern Promises, where it feels,
Hmm.
while you can tell obviously it's choreographed, it just felt very natural. And don't get me wrong, I love the first John Wick. Those movies are fun, but like this was just, it's like, where has this movie been? This is what I've been wanting for a long time, and I'm glad Fincher did it. It is based off a French comic book, I believe, or graphic novel, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, if any of you have in the chat haven't seen it, check out The Killer from David Fincher. It's
Okay.
got some really
Hmm.
cool sequences in it,
Very cool.
and for anybody that has seen it, and you're saying like, "Oh, it's not really realistic," well, it actually pretty much follows like the. So there's a real life serial killer. Um, he's dead now. His name is Israel Keys, and he's super prolific. I mean, he's like one of the smartest serial killers that they'd ever seen and had ever caught. The guy had several different like identities and passports and murder kits that he had like hidden in several different states around the US, buried in different parts of each state. And he was just going on killing sprees and just killing whoever he pleased. And
When was this?
um, 2010s, somewhere in between
Hmm.
that, and I would say probably 2010, 2015. I could be wrong on the dates, but either way, the guy was. so prolific that like so he had a ton of money, but like what he would do is he got all the money from robbing banks. He was a bank robber that was a professional, but he didn't rob the banks so that he could have money and live a lavish lifestyle. He robbed banks so that he could fund his serial killing habits. And yeah, and that's sort of like how Fassbender plays the character. This very like he has this really great air of like stoicism that he portrays, and
Hmm.
it's just a ruthless character. Um, you think the movie's going to go one way and then it doesn't. I just love that take no prisoners, follow the code of what you know and what's always worked type of approach for a character. I love that. That's sort of what derailed me for the Dexter series. I love Dexter, but
Hmm.
he had a code of ethics that the character was brought up to believe and followed, and that's what made him such a proficient killer. And also, he didn't play off of his emotions. He would always say in the first like season or two, like, "Don't play it. Try to play on my emotions. I don't have any." And that's very much what
Hmm.
that character reminds me of. But with Dexter, it kind of fell apart towards the end, and he became way too empathetic for other characters, and that was never the goal of what the show was supposed to be. Um, but I like how that film just stays its course and accomplishes everything that you would want to see a character like that do. It's a really cool movie. But yeah, it was released, I think, like a couple weeks ago, maybe. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's really solid.
Okay. Cool. All right then. Uh, let's see. Let me look at the chat here. Let's see. IMDb, there are no movies from the 2010s to today on the top 100 movies of all time. I'm actually surprised with that, with how many people will just go on IMDb, just punch the numbers in.
Hmm.
Uh, favorite David Fincher film? Favorite David Fincher film?
I
I will
always,
go with The Game. I'll go with The Game.
I was gonna say that it's between the game and possibly Seven. I saw that film when I was really young in the theater. Could not fully appreciate it when I saw it, but so many subsequent viewings, like I love that film. Um, Such a great atmosphere, um, and it kind of became like his stamp because like Fight Club has that too. It's like this very dark and brooding atmosphere that just permeates throughout the entire fucking movie, and I love that. And even with The Killer, it has a great atmosphere. Although I would compare it a little bit more to the style, at least in terms of cinematography, the look of it. It's like Gone Girl. Like it has that same look to it. But I like all his work, possibly excluding Alien 3, which I don't really count. But pretty much everything. I love Fincher.
Yeah, Fight Club is a good one. Yeah, of course. Thank you, Joe. I don't know what The Master is. I do like Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was a good actor. May he rest in peace. Liked him a lot of roles, even films like Twister and Mission Impossible 3 he was good in. Passed away way too soon. I don't know what you mean by The Master. I don't know if that's a film he did or something. Or
That's
you
a
mean you think
Paul Thomas Anderson
yeah,
film.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I haven't seen that, so but
it's
thank
a
you,
good
Joe.
it's a good film. It just it's another one of those movies where I wouldn't watch it a lot. I think I saw it once several years ago
Hmm.
when it came out, and I don't know that I watch it again. But with like something like Boogie Nights, I'd watch Boogie Nights a million times. Um,
Hmm.
so it's really interesting, like how his career went too. Like he was those earlier films, like they were a lot different from the stuff that he would do later. Um, But yeah, I don't want to go on a whole tangent with Paul Thomas
So Nip B is asking, what do you guys think about Aliens, True Lies, and the Abyss coming to 4K Blu-ray next year? Cool.
2 thumbs up. I can't wait. I love True Lies, man. That's one of my favorites. I love that film so much. It sucks that it's taken this long. I thought the DVD looked like shit, and it's a crying shame that that film has not had a Blu-ray release all this time. But there's like 20 million fucking releases of Avatar and Avatar 2 on 4K, Blu-ray, everything. So yeah, just glad it's coming. The Abyss as well. Always liked that one a lot as a kid. Michael Baine's a badass in that. Really looking forward to all those. And Aliens, I'm just going to get again just because why not? It's Aliens.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Let's see if Ashley does get released or gets pushed back for some reason again.
They
I'll
better
believe it when
not
it's
do
actually
that.
out.
They better not do that.
So
We
Leo
already
Punk,
got.
he's asking, yeah, go
I
ahead.
was going to say we already got screwed over with never getting True Lies Part 2 because of the whole fucking 9/11 thing that happened.
You got the TV show.
So just
You can watch that.
no, I won't. Oh God.
Or like, have you seen the original version of True Lies, the movie that was based on the French movie?
I have not seen that. I know of it
because it was based on that, and Arnold saw it, and it seemed like because he needed a film in his eyes after Last Action Hero, hey Jim, let's do this movie or a remake of this movie. So
funny how like those two films kind of mirror each other and the fact that they're both somewhat satires in a way.
yeah. Hey Martin, yeah, we just got done watching the film. And Neopunk, he keeps asking about your thoughts on the Snyderverse thing you mentioned. You talk about after and stuff. So go ahead.
Yeah, like so. I guess we start with Man of Steel.
Fuck them all. I hate
before I go off and go to space and back with all my stuff, do you not like any of those? You said you hate them all.
Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League, the 8 hour Snyder cut.
8 hours.
What's there to like? From the DC stuff I've liked has been stuff out of the realm. Joker, the Batman, some of their animated stuff. That's been the stuff I've liked. Snyder, I think he's good at visuals. I don't think he's a good storyteller. I just don't. I've liked some of his movies. I like Dawn of the Dead remake. I think that's more to James Gunn's script and people like Ving Rhames. I liked his Owl movie, but that's more of the visual look and that type of movie being trying to take itself more seriously. Watchmen, I don't mind, but it's not a film we rewatch more. But I think that's more based on the source material. That's more interesting than, and he just captured those visuals. The Suicide Squad, okay, that one I like, but that's vaguely connected because Harley Quinn's in it, but I guess it's vaguely connected to the Snyderverse, but Snyder had jack shit of anything to do with that, like at all. But the rest of it, like Man of Steel, not a fan. Batman v Superman, with the big jar of piss, Granny's peach tea, or whatever, not a fan.
I
Justice
forgot about
League wasn't for me, and I know it's like 4 hour Snyder cut wasn't for me. If people like it, that's cool. Just not. And then he fucked up Army of the Dead somehow. How you screw that up, I don't know.
How the hell did
But
he
he
screw
managed to
that
do
up?
it.
That's
I
such
don't
a
know.
perfect
But go on.
setting. Like, I mean, the whole zombie thing and the heist in the middle and Vegas, and that should have been Rainbow Six Vegas with zombies. How the fuck do you screw that up? And it's not like he hasn't done big budget, huge scale type of high concept movies before. That's always been his bag. So, what do you think went wrong with that?
Yeah, I don't think he's a good storytelling writer. I mean, 300 is based on a source material that he mostly did copying the
Hmm,
pages. Same with Watchmen. A
okay.
lot of it was copying the pages. Uh, I think even that Owl movie was based on something, I believe. I think he's good at copying visuals. I don't think he's a good storyteller. Dawn of the Dead, I give more credit to James Gunn and his
Right. It
script,
was his script. Yeah, that's true.
but I think he's good at visuals. I don't think he's a good storyteller. And I don't know if he helped write Army of the Dead, uh,
I think he did.
Snyder. Well, that's where it went wrong. Let's make a daughter who's really bitchy, hates her dad, gets everybody pretty much killed except herself, and the most unlikable character is the one who lives.
Mhm.
And let's have a big action scene that's in all the trailers be a giant dream scene.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
Like them around the
Mm-hmm.
circle shooting all the zombies. That was all a big fantasy
Mm-hmm.
daydream. Talk about false advertising. That didn't help.
Definitely didn't.
But yeah, if you like the Snyderverse more, that's cool. I have no issues with anyone who does.
No, there's a lot of problems. I think there's things that I like in it, but it's not well put together in terms of it being cohesive. Like it there's things in Man of Steel that I hate, but then there's things that I like. Um and I think the same goes for Batman v Superman. Same thing with his cut of Justice League. There's things I like, things I don't like. Um it'll take I don't want to spend like another half hour on here. It'll take way too long. I will try to cover that fully in another video where we just do like a Q and A or something. But like the short of it is like there's things I like and things that I hate. But I'm not like overly upset that they didn't continue it. I would have rather had seen at least a solo Batman movie with Affleck in it and him directing. I thought that that would have been a cool idea. I think he's a
Mm.
great filmmaker, possibly even better than Snyder. So um, I would have liked that, but it didn't go that way. And
Yeah,
I mean, if there's anything that I'm upset about when it comes to them not continuing the Snyderverse, it would be that we never got the solo Affleck Batman movie.
I could see that. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, all of the stuff that he had planned and put online and how it was going to be this really different take and he's going to go not so much practical with it but just I think the key word he used like it's going to be fun. Like I want to bring back the fun energy to the character and to everything that goes on because everything now is so serious and I mean we got a shit ton of that with the Nolan movies and I'm not shitting on those films at all because I like Nolan. I think he did a good job with Dark Knight especially. That's the best film of the three. But like I just that goes back to the Batman. Like it's so serious and it's like I don't know. I just hate like what Matt Reeves did. He's like, I watched him lie and he's like, that's not my Batman. That's not what we're going to do. And then he fucking does that. And it's like, well, why'd you say you weren't going that way? But then Snyder's guilty of the same thing. He said that about Superman. He's like, that's not the Superman. We're not going to do the takes the glasses off and then he's Superman. And then he puts them back on. Nobody knows who the fuck he is. And that's kind of what he did. So I just hate when these directors like they come out and then they start saying, "Oh, we're not doing that. That's not our film," and then they fucking do it. And I don't think that with guys like that, their hands are completely tied and they're forced. I mean, these are huge name filmmakers. Like they have some kind of say. Um, So that always seemed like a cop out with those guys. But yeah, again, I'm gonna go on a tangent, so I don't even want to do because I'm a huge Batman fan. So like, I don't want to go there. It'll take a half hour for me to like get through all of that.
Yeah. I agree with Matt Reeves. Let's put it that way.
With which part?
A part is I like that a lot more than
Oh, you mean
Nolan's
like?
film.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you. Wait, the the Batman over. You're saying over all the Nolan stuff. I remember we talked about this once before.
Yeah,
Um,
for me,
right. Is it that you like that better than all three of the films, or just
all
the
three,
last one? All three? Really? Okay.
all three. Yeah,
Okay.
I think because the Batman, I'm just more interested in Batman, while Dark Knight, I'm more interested in Joker, Heath Ledger.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
like that I was more interested in Batman and the Batman. I wasn't
Hmm.
really interested in Batman in the Dark Knight. I was more interested in Heath Ledger, who knocked out of the park.
Yeah, definitely. He did. I
So
will.
but that's just one of the ways I view like Dark Knight's a great showcase of Heath Ledger. I just
Mhm.
really not interested in Batman or his fucking
Would you
voice.
say all the other characters were more like interesting, like the Eric
Yeah, like Morgan
Roberts performance?
Freeman,
Yeah.
Gary Oldman.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, Gary Oldman, Morgan Freeman, even Liam Neeson.
Hmm.
It's not that I don't like Christian Bale. It's just the portrayal. I don't know,
Hmm.
especially as Batman. I just more, just not. The other people were just more interested in me.
Okay.
Even Aaron Eckhart, despite the shitty CG face or Two Face. But thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Yes, Scrooge is a good one. What is your top five Bill Murray? That's tough. Uh, the movie where he took Seth Green and dumped him in the trash because he's a jerk. The scene where he made Lucy Liu cry. That's number two. Okay, five Bill Murray films. Stripes. We're gonna say Ghostbusters, Stripes, Scrooged. I really do like. There's a lot to pick because I like What About Bob. Groundhog Day would be in the top five. I don't know what order. Ghostbusters, Stripes, Groundhog Day would be in there. Scrooge would be in there, and for because I like Ghostbusters too. I like What About Bob. I like Caddyshack. I like Meatballs even.
You could put Wild Things on there for a different reason, but I don't know if you want to count
Not good with it.
that.
I'll put a random one and say Lost in Translation
Hmm, good pick.
because that's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Do you have a five favorite Bill Murray in no particular order?
Yeah, I couldn't do it in order. Ghostbusters 1 and 2 for sure. Um, I don't care
You
what
know, I'll put
anybody says.
Ghostbusters two. I'll put Ghostbusters two in my five because that's underrated. Is that's bad? So I'll put instead of Lost in Translation, I'll put Ghostbusters two in my top five because definitely gets shit on. I don't think it's that bad.
Mhm.
But sorry, go
Um,
ahead.
no, you're fine. Scrooged, Ed Wood.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's not.
Um, what would be number five? Again, in no particular order. Hmm. I don't know what would be number five off the top of my head. I could be forgetting one that he's in.
So you said Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Hmm.
And what else did you say?
Ed Wood and Scrooged.
Edward
Fuck
Scrooge.
it, I'll,
Okay.
I'll, I'll throw Kingpin in there. I'm a huge Kingpin fan. I grew up watching that one, um, and I just love how obnoxious his character is the whole time. It's great. That's more of a personal favorite than like best in his career, I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, Zombieland, he was fun in that. I agree.
Hmm.
Garfield was garbage with Bill
Oh,
Murray.
Garfield.
Quick Change, I could never get into. Jesse. Can never get into Quick Change. Ed Wood, yeah, T. Ferdinand's in that. I guess, I mean, movies in general that would be in there. I guess I was trying to think of like movies he starred in.
Hmm.
But Ed Wood's a great. I love Ed Wood.
Yeah, it fucking bombed at the box office. It's a
Yeah,
huge
sadly.
flop. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Oh yeah. How long are you open to being on? Because I know it's the night before Thanksgiving. I don't want to keep you on too long. Okay,
I'm good.
cool. We'll go on a little bit longer. Think of this kind of a fun bit before Thanksgiving, because
Cool.
we'll be away for a bit. So we'll be on for a little bit longer. Why not? Night before Thanksgiving. Why the fuck not? What the fuck not? Fuck it. We haven't done a stream together in a while. I was meaning to, but things like Gravity, some other movies, just oh well. Is Thanksgiving now in Jersey? That's okay. Yeah, the time difference. Yeah, I'll be 15 minutes. It'll be Thanksgiving. Granted, I don't really do holidays much anymore. I don't know why. Just I think just the family kind of like whatever.
Hmm.
Just sleep. Be the day of sleep.
Yeah.
Is McDonald's open?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way. I'd rather just relax at home and play games, watch movies. I'd rather not do too much of anything.
No, no problem, Predminator. Yeah, I like Where the Buffalo Roam. I don't know if you ever saw that Bill Murray movie. Where the Buffalo Roam?
What year was that?
It was early 80s. That was him playing the character Johnny Depp would play in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Hunter S. Thompson.
Yes. God, I forgot about that was 1980, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah,
okay.
I enjoy that film. Peter
Yeah.
Boyle was in it.
Yeah, been a long time. What a pull. I forgot about that one.
But yeah, I do enjoy that one. That's a fun one. And like I said, not it didn't do well at all, so it's fairly forgotten. But I know there was a Blu-ray that came out of it. A Shout Factory or someone like that released it. But
Mhm.
yeah, uh, out of all the Batman films, what is Mark's favorite?
Mm. I'm really partial to obviously The Dark Knight. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that is because just the story that's crafted, I think, is so well done. Um, it makes really great use of all the other characters that are smaller characters in the realm of Batman, and they all have so much to do, so much to say. All the performances. I love that I got to see Eric Roberts on the big screen. Um, a lot of the locations were really familiar because I grew up in Chicago. So
Okay.
a lot of damn near all of the like on-site locations. I've actually been there and stood in those spots where Heath Ledger was, and so it would probably be that one. But really close second would be Batman Returns. Um,
No,
I
I
love
like
how
that one. Yeah.
I love how dark the film is. Um, it's just a really moody and atmospheric film. I think that like for a film that's set during that time um, of winter, like it has a great feel to it, and I don't think any other film since have had that. The dark aspect of it does not bother me though. I know it did for the studio, and even pussies like
McDonald.
Chris O'Donnell comes in and he's like, "Oh, I didn't like Batman Returns. It was too dark." Well, fuck you. Like
Did he
that's what
say
I think.
that?
He did. And I was like, that's such a fucking like studio driven, like politically correct thing to say. Like you're just saying that because you want to be Robin again. And yeah, that's a great movie.
When did he say that?
It was during, I want to say, when he was interviewing for Batman and Robin, and he had already
Hmm.
done Forever. And I remember him saying, like, that's why the Batman and Robin was even more colorful. They were trying to pass it off to kids. They wanted to get a lot of toys out, and which is why they have 50 million costumes in that movie. And um, but honestly, as bad as that movie is, like I still kind of like the first four, like all of them. Like Batman and Robin really does have its problems, but on a shitty level, I enjoy it because I just laugh at how ridiculous the film is. Like all the lines of dialogue from Arnold are fucking hilarious. Like when he shows up and he sprays everybody with the freeze gun and he's like, "All right, everybody, chill." It's like that's so fucking terrible, but I kind of laugh at it and I'm like, this is so bad, but it's awesome. I mean, they fall from like a exploding rocket in the sky and they like surf back to Earth. Like it's fucking ridiculous. Like, but I still enjoy it in a shitty way. Like I'd never say those films are good though because they are bad. But no, I mean, Fred, there's stuff wrong with Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I
There
think
is.
he's trolling. There's like
Okay,
everything
I was
wrong
gonna
with
say,
Batman and
like,
Robin.
dude, like, there's
I
definitely
mean, I
stuff.
think he's trolling.
I hope so. Um, yeah, the first one, I like for sure. Fun. Uh, I just, again, I hate certain pieces of that movie,
Right.
but yeah, I think Returns is the best though. Really fun. I mean, Penguins got lube on the nightstand and scented or unscented.
Well, thank you, Emotionless Zombie. I appreciate that. I was watching Three from Hell. Why? Earlier and was thinking, why did the war? I barely remember that film, other than its sucking. Um, I barely remember that film. So the warden cooperated with the plan to release. I don't even remember that I vaguely remember that happening. Rob Zombie is writing it. That's why. Why didn't Halloween two redneck bumpkins decide to go to an 8 foot tall Michael Myers and go, smell my fingers. I'm gonna just fuck this girl in your cell. Smell my fingers. And the guy's like 7 feet tall and 3 feet wide. Do you remember Three from Hell?
I saw it one time and I don't really remember much about it. I do remember um, it was sad to see Sid Haig that way. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
the whole Richard Brake character was completely ridiculous and unnecessary, but it is a Rob Zombie film, so I expect ridiculous and unnecessary. Um, and that's nothing against Richard Brake because he's fucking awesome. I've met him and talked to him extensively, and he's a really cool guy. Um, and I thought his performance in Barbarian was the best part of the movie, even though I don't really care for that
Oh
film.
yeah.
I think he's the best like
Mm.
thing about it. Yeah, I just don't remember Three from Hell that much. Like I saw it once when it came out, and I think that was
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I like I said, I can't remember it. Wasn't like was it D Wallers or someone else was a guard and one of them
Hmm.
had a fight with Rob Zombie's wife character baby and
Yeah,
some fucking stupid.
and her performance, I do remember in that was not as. It seemed like she had a better grip on the character in Devil's Rejects, but in this
Mm.
one, she was trying so hard to seem insane, and it was just like I don't know. It just didn't work right in Three from Hell for me, from what I
Like
remember.
a wannabe, wannabe Harley Quinn or something.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, man. We don't remember the film because it's. I thought it sucked. I don't know what Mark's opinions. Like
Um,
the bottom
it
line on Three from Hell.
it was the typical Rob Zombie movie. That's what I remember. I don't
So is that
remember.
good or bad? The typical Rob Zombie movie for
I
you.
don't know. I don't remember liking it that much, but I certainly didn't hate it because it was kind of what I expected. Like when a film sort of meets my expectations for like, especially if it's a filmmaker like Rob Zombie, I know what I'm going in for, or I know what I'm going to get when I'm going in. It's just it is what it is. Like I don't think you can hate a film if you know that that's what you're going to get. Like, do you really think that
Well, you
all that time
can
has
because
passed and
it should be better.
you said he should be better or the film should be better?
He should be better as a director and writer and
Hmm.
learn from your mistakes and get better.
Yeah, but having seen all his
How
work up
many?
to that point, it's just what I
Yeah.
expected. So it's not a love or hate thing with me. It's just like, that's what I figured it would be.
Like the monsters.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I expect. I'm like, this is a PG Rob Zombie film. I can already map out how this is going to play out, and it pretty much went the way that I thought it would.
And interesting, you didn't like what?
I'm just your reaction to the monsters. You're like that
Well,
head
yeah,
shaking. I know what that
I
means.
knew, I knew. Well, I guess like you said, you know what it's going to be,
Hmm.
and it was such a to me a horrible fucking movie. With that guy that played Herman Munster, what garbage can did they get him out of
Jeff Daniel Phillips. I've seen him in
with
other
his
stuff, and
acting?
he's not that bad. He that's the worst performance I've ever seen from him. I've seen him in other stuff, and he's never that bad. But that like I don't know what the fuck he was going for. Um, and I've probably told this story out here before, but I remember like passing by them at the convention, and this was right when this had to be August of 2022. They were Richard Brake and Jeff Young Phillips, like their table were like touching, and they were side by side, and they're bullshitting and stuff. And I'm walking by, and uh, I want to say like maybe 10 or 20 people. Like while I was standing there talking to Richard Brake, everybody that walked by, they're like, "I can't wait for the monsters." that movie looks awesome. They were telling that to Jeff Daniel Phillips, and I'm like, no, it's not. Like, it doesn't look awesome. Like, it looks like the typical thing that you'd expect Rob Zombie to do. Um, I, Answer me this: when you watched the film, did you get any enjoyment out of it, even on a shitty level? Did you laugh at it because of how bad it was? Did you? Okay, well, you were just angry the whole time. Okay.
Because the visuals felt like it was trying to rip off Creep Show. There was barely a plot. I'm tired of seeing Rob Zombie's wife and all of his shit.
Mm-hmm.
It meandered. It was boring. It was just, and fucking Rob Zombie. This is supposed to be something he loves. It's not like Halloween where he really didn't give a shit. He's supposed to be loving the monsters,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like supposed to be your best foot forward because you're supposed to love this property, and this is what you give people. Give me a fucking break. Get the fuck out of here. Take care, Caleb. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, take care, man. I can't disagree with you. Like, that's kind of what I thought, but I just wasn't
And
angry
yeah,
with it. That's the only
right.
thing.
And ever since I agree, but ever since you say you didn't like Barbarian, because I never heard you talk about that film because it came out and I don't think we had chatted. I'm not sure if we had chatted with each other by then by that film come out.
Um,
Don't think
well,
so.
I don't think so either, but it just fell apart for me once. Um, I think it's Justin Long's character comes into play.
Yeah.
There's so many things that just tried my patience, and I know the saying always goes that characters in horror movies do stupid things, but they don't have to. I hate that. That's just being lazy. Like, they don't have to. You can always get to the source of evil or the source of conflict or whatever it is a different way. You can go about it in a smart way. But like, that film just started to get worse and worse as it went on. Once it reached a certain point, because the first I guess it's like the first half hour to 40 minutes I enjoy. But as soon as like we get to the whole mystery aspect after the sequence with Richard Brake's character, and you see what he's done with the house and what he was doing in his spare
Mhm.
time, so I don't want to spoil for anybody who hasn't seen it. And once you get
Right.
past all that, and it's not the 80s anymore or the 70s, whatever it was, and you get back to present day, I was like, well, I'm done. Because like it went so ridiculous, and I'm like, come on. Like, do people want to
Yeah.
see the horror villain of a horror film try to feed breast milk to people held captive?
Some people who it's their teens,
I don't. Maybe like I don't like.
the people that wear diapers.
Yeah, I
They're
thought the acting
they're
was good
disgusting.
though. Like, up until, like I said, the Richard Brake stuff, and I like his character the
Hmm.
best. I wish the movie was actually about him and didn't have the monster in the basement bullshit part of it at all. I would have rather seen a film about that guy doing what he liked to do and filming himself and how he created everything. That was much more interesting. But that's like 5 to 10 minutes of the movie, like just thrown in the middle. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's just a movie. That guy's not gonna dig all that shit out this length of a fucking couple football fields. I know it took. I'm like, come on, you need. It would take like a fucking construction crew a long ass time to dig all that shit out. Is
Yeah.
that the point? Was that it's like he just dug all that out? It wasn't like some other thing
Hmm.
below it. He just dug
Yeah, he
all that
he
labyrinth.
he started to dig at one point and he just never stopped. And his life sort of revolved around his unsavory practices with uh,
Right.
women that he selected. So it kind of was interesting because I would have liked to have seen how he accomplished all that. And it's like, was that guy that insane where that's all he did? He didn't give a shit about like starting a family or working a real job. And it's his perversion rules his life, and that's how deep it went. Like that he made this entire underground network and he had all these women and shit. Like I would have rather seen a film
Just
about his life, but not some fucking monster in a basement. That's so
the
stupid.
whole I don't know why the dating thing just I'm like, what? He dug all this? It was like hard to wrap my brain around the massiveness of it.
Yeah.
Also, when the lead girl first sees that guy disappear,
Hmm.
would you go back in and not get help?
Well, that's my whole that's what I'm saying. Like it's stuff like that that bothered me. Like even when Justin Long comes in and he notices that like people have been in his place. He's like he sees the basement door open, he sees suitcases around, and he sees the light on in the basement. He's like, I'm not gonna go down there. I'm gonna close the door and turn the light off. Who the fuck does that?
Yeah.
You know someone's
Well,
been in your house, you're not gonna investigate it. Come on. Come on.
they're trying to make him the misogynistic, stupid, idiot guy. Like they're trying to, because they're throwing that message of he's a misogynist, he's stupid, he's a
Hmm.
Neanderthal. Of course he's dumb. That makes it funny. So of course he's doing stupid things. That's what they're going for. I'm not saying I like it, but that's what they went for. Fucking barbarian. I agree that the first chunk of the movie was interesting. I'll give you that.
Hmm.
Afterward, it's like,
It got too
no.
silly for me at the end, especially that ending.
Oh, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it, man. You've been very kind. Thank you, man. I do like The Shining. I like The Shining, The Simpsons segment. I also like The Shining. Yeah. I mean, 5 Stanley Kubrick films: The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, 2001, Doctor Strangelove. That's pretty much it for me. I can't name 5. Yeah, that'd be those 4.
Hmm. No Clockwork Orange.
Nah,
Never,
that
never got into that one.
nah. It's not. Yeah, it just wasn't for me.
Gotcha.
I don't think it's bad. It just wasn't for me. Just didn't click for me.
Yeah, I'd
It's not
probably
poorly
say
made film at
those.
all. But go ahead.
I'd probably say those as well. I like Strange Love, but I find myself watching like Clockwork Orange more, 2001 more, Shining more. Obviously, I'm a horror person. Full
Yeah.
Metal Jacket, I love, and then I would say Eyes Wide Shut. Like I love the film. Like
Mhm.
it's people could say what they want about him going out on that movie, but there's a lot there that I find very interesting. Um, Especially the look of it. It's very captivating, especially the sequences in the huge mansion at the end. Well, I guess that's not the end, but sort of towards the middle of the movie. All that stuff is
With the
just,
Scientologists.
yeah.
That's the twist. They're Scientologists.
That's right.
It's Tom Cruise's autobiography.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Stanley Kubrick didn't make a lot of movies, but there's a chunk of movies. When he made them count.
Hmm.
So there you go.
Definitely.
Predminator's asked in March. A lot of people talked about this, so they get your thoughts on Best Buy going away with physical media. What do you think physical media will be in a few years from now?
It'll be run by the boutique labels for sure. Um, there's no other place that I can think of that has a great selection, at least near me, of physical media. I don't really shop
Right.
at Target like ever. um, and then Walmart, it's always empty. There's never anything there when I go. So it's really unfortunate that that's happening. I had a long conversation with a guy who was a collector of like all the exclusive steelbooks and stuff in Best Buy, and I think it was probably the week that that was announced. And we stood there for a long time just talking about like this is all going to be gone, and we just talked about movies, collections, and stuff. And it was one of those experiences where two movie hardcore movie fans and collectors like meet, and you're in person and you're showing things on your phone of movies and your collection and this and that. And he's got stuff in his hand, I've got stuff in mine. It's that in-person experience that's sort of hard to find now, and I won't have anymore. And stuff like that, I'll always remember because he was a really cool guy, and
Mhm.
it just I've come to terms with it. I'm not really sad about it. It's just really unfortunate. I hate that it's happening, but it won't. I don't think it'll be the death of physical media or anything like that. It'll always be around as long as there's demand for something and there's money to be made. There's a company out there that will supply, um, and as long as they're making money, they're going to keep pumping these things out. It's going to keep coming. I'm not worried about it going away.
Right. For me, in a way, it was. I agree. There'll always be physical with, like you said, boutique labels, Arrow
Mm-hmm.
Video, Vinegar Syndrome. Maybe one or two new ones will pop up or something,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it'll be for the collectors. Uh, yeah, Best Buy. I'm sure eventually Walmart will do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and this is thing where I kind of, ever since, I mean, let's be honest, ever since the internet became a thing, that was always going to be the inevitability of it. It took a while,
Mm-hmm.
but you saw the death of rental stores. I was in the middle of it because I worked at a video store. And when I'm the beginning of 2012, I'm working night in a video store. We have an hour to close. I'm literally standing in the middle on a counter watching Jaws because nobody has come in for the past hour, which is nice. But
That's
at the
a
same
good way to
time,
make money.
it's nice at the time, but if it's like this, it's not going to last long.
Mm-hmm.
It just won't. It's not financially viable. Even like Walmart. How many people in the chat when was the last thing you bought movie wise from Walmart? Like you, can you remember the last thing you bought from Walmart? DVD,
Um,
Blu-ray, 4K, whatever.
I probably not from the physical store. I couldn't tell you. Um, I bought more
Like
stuff
the
off
physical
of the
store.
website. No,
Because
couldn't tell you.
the website, I mean, if you didn't find it on Walmart, you could find it on Amazon, like from
Hmm.
the actual store.
No, it's been that long. I couldn't tell you.
And even Walmart doesn't care, because they put all their stupid fucking things in these baskets that you have to dive in, and it's so stupid. If they
Mhm.
put them right, I think they would sell more, because people, it's easier to see. They don't want to dumpster dive for a
Mhm.
fucking movie. It's
Yeah.
like, just have a shelf and put them the right way. But hey, what do I know? I Yeah, not economically viable. Exactly. So Best Buy, I can't. When I was even, I can't remember the last movie I bought from Best Buy when I was around them.
Mhm.
Even same with Walmart. Because like right now, Walmart, for example, let's say you want Into the Spider Verse
Mhm.
on Amazon, you buy for $10. Walmart is double the price, or $23.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? Get it for $10, get a couple movies, get free shipping, or get it there. More people are like, well, I'll just get it at home and it'll be delivered at my door. It just was, that was the inevitability of it. Like, and like I said, physical media will not go away entirely. There'll always be those boutique labels. There's always going to be those collectors, just like records. People thought records were gone, and then vinyl. There's a collector's market that people still buy vinyl to this day. Same
Mhm.
with movies. So that'll be that, and they'll be highly priced, and the rest you'll have to either go on streaming or find wink wink certain people online that will make them for you for a price. And that's just how it is. It was
Mhm.
sooner or later that was always going to be the case. And I'm
Yeah.
surprised it lasted this long.
Yeah. The profit margins were really, really high. Um, they were in double digit, like billions for. I think the highest point was like 2000 set between 2000, 2006 and 2009, I believe. Um, but all those digital like streaming platforms that started to come into play, and they were becoming more accessible, more of a, I think, threat to physical media for the average consumer. It There was never a question of like, oh, I'm going to keep buying DVDs at $20 or how much ever they paid for it. When I can just stream everything from here, I can find everything online. And for most people, most movies are a one and done watch.
Yeah.
We, I'm not like that, but my friend, he's a movie fan, but like the majority of everything that he watches is a one time thing. He won't watch anything like he's like, oh, I seen it. And I'm like, don't you want to experience it again? He's like, nah, I'm good. Like he'll watch The Crow or something like that because like I guess those are movies he grew up with maybe, and like he's just got that affection for him, so he'll watch them again and again. But there's probably about 20 to 30 movies in total that I know that he'll rewatch. Everything else
Yeah.
is expendable for him. He doesn't buy physical media like that. The last physical media, yeah, last physical media movie he bought, Battle Angel, the Rodriguez
Oh,
film,
okay.
and beyond that, like he just doesn't give a shit about it. And I remember him saying like he's like fuck the slipcases and fuck the cases in general. He hates anything physical. He's all about digital. He doesn't like physical media. He threw his slipcases away. I told him he's an idiot for doing so because you could have made money off that stuff. People go crazy for slipcases and actual movie cases and stuff. You don't even have to put the fucking movie in it. They'll just buy the case. And he puts all his movies like on the when you get buy like blank discs, like there's like the spindle. That's what he puts his movies on,
Yeah.
or he'll put them in a binder. But other than that, like he's not a fan of having cases and physical media at all. So um, it's really weird to me that anybody could do that. He's willing to watch a movie on his computer. I have done that, but that is never my preferred method of watching anything. I'm always TV. Um,
Yeah.
I can't get how people watch movies on their iPhone. That is so weird to me. But it's a different age with the movie fan currently. Like it's more of a the digital movie is more of a floating piece of throwaway entertainment that you can experience once and then you're just done with it. You don't have to keep a physical thing laying around. People, there's so many people that just don't care about that. We are the niche market, us collectors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing though. You have the younger generation coming up that did not grow up with rental stores. They didn't grow up in that environment.
Hmm.
They grew up in the age of computers and watching this online. So that's the norm to them. I like to your friend, in a way, I kind of get what he means in the fact of, let's say you buy, let me pick out a movie. Okay, like I got this recently
Hmm.
because I do like the film. I went into my collection. It's a film I saw recently and enjoyed. Ronan Flitz put this out because it was out of print from Vinegar Syndrome. Um, there's nothing out there.
Oh, the Rolf Kaninsky film.
Yeah, which I had never seen before. Really enjoyed it. Was out of print, and then Ronan Flitz put it out. Bought it from the website. Has the same features, but more like student films and stuff on it. I'm okay. Now I enjoy the film, but okay, I bought this.
Hmm.
Let's say when I get time, I watch this.
Hmm.
When's the next time am I going to watch this? 5 years? 3 years? 6 years? Okay,
Would
let's say
would
three
that still
years.
be the case if you didn't have to review so many films, do commentaries? Let's say there was no Rambo, Raf, internet, anything,
Well, no, it'd just be whatever other stuff you're doing in your life because we live in an age where there's now so many avenues of movies,
entertainment. Yeah.
streaming,
Hmm.
video games, games on your phone, not just PlayStation 5, but 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and Nintendo and Wii, just video games. If you dab in video games,
Hmm.
hey, I want to look up Sega Saturn if I have the money. I want to look up PS4, like
Yeah.
what's online that's digital only. All the streaming services and they all the content they're just puking out. Some good, a lot bad. But there's this movie, this TV show, this TV show. Wow. Someday back then, if I want to watch a TV show, I have to wait for a rerun. Shit, I don't need to do that. I could binge watch The Simpsons if I have about 7 years every day to binge watch all the stuff. But you could just binge watch TV shows if you're in the mood. And then
Hmm.
how long that takes when you're busy with life and you're busy with your family or your kids or your husband or your cheating wife or your cuckolding or whatever you're into. Uh, all that stuff going on with the amount of available just entertainment because of internet streaming faster. Where back in the day the internet would be dial up. Now if you have it decent enough, it's that quick. It goes, and even with all that, like even movies I love, like okay, like I didn't like this, but let's say I enjoy. I'm looking over there. Meet the Feebles, Peter Jackson film, right?
Hmm.
You know the I enjoy that film. I don't know if my lifetime I've seen that more than 5 times, but I still enjoy the film.
Hmm.
Same with Chappelle's Show. I got Chappelle's Show season 1 and 2. I enjoy that show.
Great show. Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I watched that DVD though.
Hmm.
I enjoy it. I have it, but I haven't seen that DVD in the past 7 years. But I still like the show. I'm glad I have the DVD if I want to watch it. But like, how many times have I actually sat down and watched that whole DVD of season 1 and 2? Even though I enjoy the show, I'm not talking about like you see a bit on YouTube. I mean like actually sit down and watch the DVD. So it's one of those things that especially when you're a collector and you have, how much would you say you have? 100 at least? 100
Movies?
in your collection? Yeah,
Oh no,
movies.
it's way more than that. I don't know.
But
You,
even at 100,
hmm
if you think of a movie, how is if you pick a random movie, then think to yourself, how many times have I watched that movie since I got the DVD? I think unless it's your all-time favorites,
hmm
I think it'd be hard for you to count. I've seen that more than 5 times, that DVD, for a lot of them. Not
Yeah,
all of them, but like your all-time, like my all-time, Aliens, Predator 2. Yeah, many, many times I rewatch them. But like again, I enjoy. Let me look over here. Uh, I enjoy Requiem for a Dream. I have that DVD probably for over a decade. I probably haven't seen that more than 5 times, even though I enjoy the film.
hmm
That specific DVD, that's a lot for a lot of people's collections because we get so much because we want to own them because we like the opportunity of choice.
yeah.
But then when you sit down and go, well, how many times have I actually seen that? A lot of times it's going to be one-handed for a lot of people.
I've
And when you actually stop and think about it, kind of surprising.
no, I've had that thought several times, and I've often thought about like, where is all this going to go? Like, what
Right.
am I going to do with all this? Like, is there a point to having all this? Like, and
Buried with it.
yeah, just a big mausoleum, and no, just fuck that. Don't even put me in a casket. Just make my casket out of Blu-rays and DVDs. Um, I've thought about that several times, like too many times to count. Honestly, it's like I need to sell some of this stuff. Like, there's too many of them
Mm,
that I have that I don't need, but I also don't buy everything. I
right.
don't want to call out names of specific people because that's not the right thing to do when people have their thing of collecting this or that, and do whatever you want. I say it all the time, as long as you don't hurt anybody, do whatever you want.
Right.
And
Right.
if that's how you want to spend your money, go ahead. But there are certain people that are on YouTube that buy 5 copies of the same movie. But it's not just that it's their favorite movie. They buy every release of that movie that's come out. And on release day, they need every release of each movie that comes out on release day. And I could
Mm,
never wrap my head around that type of collecting. Um, it's
mm,
collecting just for the sake of it almost. And at some point, I would think you'd have to stop and look around and be like, what am I doing? Like, do I have, even if you have the money to spare, why why spend your money on that? I mean, I know that people collect all sorts of things. People collect coins and cassette tapes and stamps. I don't understand it, but they do it. And to me, I've always thought of it like there has to be a reason behind it. But maybe there isn't one. So for those people that do have all those movies that they never watched that you were talking about, to them, I think it's just the act of having something physical that they can hold in their hands. Um, they're more than likely addicted, dare I say, to the thrill of getting each copy of whatever the movie is 10 times over. There has to be something there because, like you said, it's not all rewatching. There's no way
mhm.
that you're watching every copy of that movie that you buy. If you buy 5 copies of the same movie, you're not watching all 5. You're going to watch one of them, probably the one with the best quality, I guess, be it the 4K, and then the Blu-ray and the DVD and whatever else is going to sit on the shelf. Now, I don't have anything
Maybe a
against
certain
upgrading, but
maybe a
like
certain sickness.
I've called me and Uncle Bill have called it that before. It's kind of a sickness.
Mm.
Um,
Cinema sickness.
isn't that a channel?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what they've mentioned that a few times. Because like you said, if the guy wants to, that's fine. But sometimes you go a little bit overboard, especially if your mortgage is an issue, but you're buying movies. And yeah, Joe, I mean, obviously, if you've seen it 50 times, that means it's one of your favorite films. That's cool. I'm sure I've seen, not 50 times, but I've seen Predator 2 a lot, Aliens a lot, Hard Target a lot. Probably not 50 times even in my lifetime, but a lot. That's cool.
Mhm.
But no, this other one we're collecting just.
No, nothing wrong with it at all. But like I said, there has to be something behind it, and I just never understand why people do it. I don't get, at least in that way.
It
Like,
depends. I think some of them. I I'm not saying this is the case for everybody, but there are some that do it just to in their head. Those people probably show it off on YouTube, right?
yeah,
And that's why they do it because it's kind of their prerogative to showcase and give them something to show, something to talk about, something like their own little prop for their mini movies of YouTube videos in a weird way.
mm,
I need to buy my props. Here's my props. Something to show, to talk about.
yeah. I guess what they call
Hey, I showed this.
the blue tuber
Give us something to
thing.
talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, I don't know. Like for me, I'm always buying stuff that I know that I like, stuff that I know that I'm going to watch. I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty selective about what I get. Um, and as
Unless it's
far
like
as
maybe $1. Hey, it's $1, so you if the movie's like $1 at a store, like okay,
mhm,
I'll pick this up to see what it's like. Like I admit, like I was I was at one place and I picked this up because it's shit. But it's $1 and maybe I'll give it to someone because this movie's fucking horrible. But it was $1, and I
uh-huh.
rarely do this. This piece of shit.
Oh, the David
It was
Arbor.
$1.
Play.
This is $1, and I'm like,
Oh
I look at the
man.
features and maybe I'll either sell to someone or I'll give it to someone who likes it. But I'm like, for $1, and I rarely do that.
Mhm.
I'm like, this is only $1. I just sell this, and I rarely do that. But maybe it's like that. Maybe just to fuck with people, sure. But
Mhm.
sell it to my friend after he says he loves that film, maybe. Nah, I wouldn't sell it. I'd probably give it as a gift. Which would be worth it.
You could have given X Files I Want to Believe as a gift, but you you destroyed it on
To
that
who?
stream we did.
To who?
You
Who
sent
the
it to
hell wants that
CK.
movie?
Send it to CK. He liked it.
Yeah, that movie. But we'll wrap it up here. It's about 12:30. Plus, I got 9% on the phone,
Oh
the
shit.
battery. So this was a lot of fun. Always great to chat with Stuntman Mark here. Should we get a shot of what the whole background is of your background? Is it the
Oh,
predator behind your head?
yeah. Let me. I guess I'll lean to the side. Hold on. If I could move
And let
over.
me.
Uh, yeah.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah. He's
There we go.
yeah, pretty cool. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
the city hunter predator.
But yeah, you guys, everybody out there, have a happy Thanksgiving. It's now officially Thanksgiving for I think everybody or almost everybody.
Yep.
Have a safe Thanksgiving. Have a Black Friday. You think you don't pick up anything Black Friday?
You
I
know
can't think of anything, but
there was so many sales and things that came around. I don't know. I don't have anything. Well, you know what? I take that back. I do want a couple things from Severin. And then I don't know what Vinegar Syndrome's releasing. You know, they always have surprise releases at midnight. So we'll see.
More shitty film.
Occasionally they'll surprise you. Like I would have never guessed Roadhouse or some of the other ones that they did were coming to 4K.
There you go.
Of, of course, you would find that Silver Wings. That's cool though. That's cool. I don't know. I'm very interested. I gotta talk to A24 though. I think they replied to my email already.
For what? Star in one of their movies?
No, so
Stare
like
at the walls more.
You've seen Talk to Me, right?
Yeah, the foot
Yeah.
sucking movie.
That's right, the Tarantino's favorite scene. So the fucking hand thing, which actually hold on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this thing.
Yeah.
So I got one of these straight from A24. And it's not the
It won't
movie.
suck my foot. God damn it.
No, it definitely won't. So I got the hand. And this thing is really heavy. Now,
Okay.
I'm just so on the movie. But I always like collecting horror props, you know that. And
Yeah.
so the hand was really, I don't even know if that'll show up. Okay. So it's really heavy, really well detailed. You guys can see that. But look, the finger is broken. So I'm like, can I get another one?
Was it broken when it arrived?
Yeah. And here's like the little.
So I know what happened.
What happened?
I know what happened. Someone took the package, stuck it up their ass, and then the finger broke. And then they put it back in the box. They said, "Well, I guess I gotta go get a different section."
I'm not gonna smell the finger if that's what you're gonna say next.
How you know?
I'm not doing it. It's no, I told Garrett about it, and because like he got one, and I think ours came at like the same time, but the like it's a what do you call it? A bowl. Oh, hold on, phone call. I'll call them back.
Probably A24.
Yeah, they're watching the stream. Yeah, so it's a bowl, but I'm not a smoker or anything, but it's still a cool like prop. But you can put your right there in the little hole. You can put your herbal refreshment, I'll say, and I'm like, well, that whole thing's defeated because the pointer finger is where you take your inhale. So yeah, it was a cool idea and a cool prop, but I'm just disappointed by it. Like I pre-ordered this thing months and months and months ago, back when it first went up for pre-order, and it took forever for them to release it. I think they had like a delay or some shit like that, and yeah, Garrett was joking around. He's like, "Oh, so you can't smoke out of it?" And I'm like, that's not what I mean. I'm just more pissed that it's broken, but it's funny. I should make him give me his. Like, just give me yours, dude. Like, we'll swap. But yeah, just looking at the email a second ago on the side here, they said they will give me a complete refund or send me another one. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'll probably end up having two. And that one can probably be glued back together, but just still the whole principle of the thing that is broken when I got it. So yeah, reply to them and get another one.
Cool. No problem, Preliminary. You're welcome. He says this might be my favorite movie stream you guys did. He's the one who requested the Terminator 3 stream a while ago that we did. So thank you, Preliminary, for that.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Everyone have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe Black Friday. If you guys do go out for that. I never do. Like physically go out. Do you ever physically go out for Black Friday? Or the last time you did that?
Not anymore. Like once the crowd chaos shit started happening, no, I stopped going. It just became too
Okay.
overwhelming, and all the deals are online now anyway, and I'd rather just get them online. So I don't even bother going out
Makes
anymore.
sense. Well, I don't know when the next stream will be or what it will be, but we'll all be enjoying our Thanksgiving weekend, and you guys stay safe, and we will talk to you guys later.
Yep. Stay safe. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Later.